Wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come. This one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. Political, my ego don't come. This one not they off in mind. My ego don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my ego, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my ego diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh. My ego don't come. My people make you shout. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Máyégún dáyàrí ká ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún dáyàrí ká ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún dáyàrí ká ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún dáyàrí ká ibi nọ́mbà wọn. Máyégún dáyàrí political. Máyégún diary, Máyégún number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún diary, Máyégún number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún diary, Máyégún number one. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Máyégún diary, Máyégún number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Máyégún máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Bí ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me, brethren. Please, the ritual, right? After reading the caption of this broadcast, make sure you have also read the description of the broadcast as well. Like the broadcast, which is your offering. Share the broadcast because there is love in sharing. To invite your friends and invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them all that Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. And if you have done that already, right? Thank you. So tonight, we are going to start from the latest warning. Even though it is becoming very too kind of like pedestrian. This time around, it is the warning from the Aare or Kakanfo of Yorubaland, Iba Gani Adams, the generalismo in the Yoruba's, war history is the generalismo of Yorubaland. Is supposed to be the leader of the Yoruba warriors. And in history, the Aare or Kakanfo is the man that is saddled with the responsibility of confronting the invaders. Historically, Yorubaland has been invaded again and again by the Fulani terrorists from the Sahel, from Futa Jalon, Futa Galon, Futa Soro, Futa whatever. Since the advent of Boko Haram, the Daura Mannequin, and Yorubaland and the Yoruba people, we have paid the supreme prices on our own weaknesses. I'm talking about those who are supposed to protect us. Politically, they have chosen to sort of like sacrifice our people on the altar of political correctness. However, fast forward to 2023, where some of our people were made to believe that the reasons why they couldn't defend them, defend them from the Fulani terrorists under Boko Haram was because the Fulani terrorists were highly protected, shielded by the Boko Haram's regime and the Boko Haram's army, the Fulani army at that time. However, just last week or thereabouts, the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, which is our own Solo Makinde, yeah. So Seyi Makinde raised the alarm by saying that some of the escaping ISWAP terrorists, Boko Haram terrorists, including some Fulani terrorists, escaping from the northwest, from the northern part of Nigeria, they have been finding their ways down to the border of Yorubaland, where the supposed Yoruba towns and the border areas, right, have been under ceaseless attacks. Unfortunately, this doesn't really make much noise in their media in Nigeria, unfortunately, and disappointingly too. But there are so many questions to be asked. Hopefully, tonight, we can press the right button to bring this situation to limelight. Because yesterday, the Aare or Kakanfo of Yorubaland, Iba Gani Adams, the leader of the OPC in Yorubaland, he didn't raise the alarm. He actually sent out a warning. And his own in his own message, plus the Yoruba Council of Elders. I think they are now relying on the supposed number one security officer of your state, which is Seyi Makinde, that if the governor says they have the intel that the Fulani terrorists, ISWAP terrorists, Boko Haram terrorists, they are finding their ways down to Yorubaland, then that should be taken serious. For those who don't want to wait to become victims before they will realize that this is real. And like I said, this is not the first time that these elements have posed existential threats to us in Yorubaland. They have kidnapped our people repeatedly. We have paid ransoms to Fulani terrorists in particular. But here is a bit of a backstory, because I don't want to 100% kind of like make it look like they didn't do anything. But I said, in the past, we have seen the supposed people who are supposed to keep our people safe, the political class, who have, I believe, who have the, in quote, the constitutional power to keep us safe, protect us, fight for us, the Yoruba governors and the Yoruba political class. So in the past, when the Fulani terrorism was raging in Yoruba, especially in the northern part of Yorubaland, which is Oyo State, in the Oyo North, we were told by this same Iba Gani Adams. This is the backstory now, just to give you an idea of how we got here. And hopefully, we will keep pressing the right pressure to make sure that these guys are not as lily-livered, as weak as they have always been again. So when these Fulani terrorists invaded Yorubaland, especially the northern part of Yorubaland, which is the Oyo, they took over the forest. It was Iba Gani Adams who first told us about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, that he had an intel that there were over 1,748 Fulani terrorist camps in Yorubaland. That was alarming, because around the time, our people were being kidnapped almost on a every day, like on a daily basis. People were paying ransom. Some others were being actually shot and killed by these terrorists. So, not that people didn't try to fight back, they did. However, it became a crime to actually fight back, to the point that those who tried to chase them away, the likes of Sunday Igboho and even the OPC guys, they had their noses bloodied. Igboho's properties got burnt, right? And people got killed inside his house. The OPC, OPC guys who even went after one of the notorious kidnapper in that same axis, they got him, and guess what? They were all locked up in Agodi prison in Ibadan, because they said they were non-state actors. Nobody gave them the authority to actually go after anyone, talk less of arresting anyone. That's the story. And that actually kind of concerned the Iba Gani Adams himself. But behind the scene, they said they have been facing serious backlashes, serious limitations. And it wasn't just the Gani Adams and others that are facing this, so even the governors. So at a point, sometime in 2019, they sum up courage by establishing the first forest rangers in Yorubaland, called the Amotekun. Now, this is where it got interesting. The Nigerian, this fake Nigeria kind of said in their own law that we gave our sovereignty to Nigeria. Therefore, right, it is the responsibility of Nigeria to protect us. Rather than for Nigeria to protect us, Nigeria was actually under Boko Haram. Nigeria was fighting us, but protecting the terrorists, Fulani terrorists. So when the governors now came together, that they were starting what they called Amotekun, the forest rangers. Those who have encountered these terrorists back then said these were AK-47 wielding terrorists. They were not artsmen. And since the Nigerian system recognizes artsmen, right? So it will now be the responsibility of us to separate the terrorists from artsmen. And how do you do that? By setting up your own security arm, arm them enough that they can also carry the same weapons that the terrorists are carrying, at least AK-47. This was where Boko Haram and Malamu, this was where they came in, by reminding all of us that we had no right to defend. Oh, they reminded the governors that they had no right to do that. So it became a really contentious issue. However, the governors then, right, led by Akeredolu of Ondo, they were able to kind of maneuver their ways, okay, by using the status of assembly to enact laws that indeed established those Amotekun. There was a limitation. Immediately, Amotekun was set up, the northern Nigeria, they went crazy. They said the Amotekun was set up, and the setting up of Amotekun in Yorubaland was against the interest of northern Nigeria. They said it was set up, right, to attack the northern part of Nigeria, which means they said it was actually set up to kill the Fulanis. Remember when the Fulani terrorists were ravaging Yorubaland, right? Majority of them, they were backed. They said we were suffering from Fulani phobia. Anyway, the governors went ahead, but there was a limitation. What was that limitation? Okay, fine, go and set up your Amotekun, but they can only go about with kondo. How can you fight terrorists by carrying a kondo, like thick, where the terrorists you are facing, they are carrying AK-47? It became a contentious issue. I mean, it was so bad, right, that even the Miyetti Allah, the terrorist group called the Miyetti Allah, was offering in place of Amotekun. They are offering to protect Yorubaland for us. Yeah, that they can keep us safe. That we don't need Amotekun. As much as I kind of detested some of these Yoruba governors, I gave them that effort, that maneuvering, whereby they were actually able to set up Amotekun. Amotekun became more or less like a toothless bulldog that can bark but cannot bite. So in January, 5 years ago, 23rd of January, 2020, the Yoruba governors went on to go and meet the then Attorney General of Nigeria plus Boko Haram, that Amotekun as a security, that is set up to prevent, to stop the destruction of Yoruba farms, Yoruba towns, and all that, right? They deserved to carry a proper arms. But they insisted no. You see, the GBT was so bad that was the moment I kind of, if you can remember, I reminded the Yorubas then that what exactly was the advantage, the supposed collaboration that APC, Egbekegbe, sold you in 2015, that they said the Yorubas and the North, they had a political arrangement. Was the arrangements meant to actually kill us, incapacitate us, weaken us for the invasion of this terrorist? Because the terrorists who have, like, according to the Iba Gani Adams, the terrorists who have occupied over 1,000, 700 or so camps, like cells, terrorist cells in Yorubaland. What was the intention? To just give them a go ahead one day, like a dog whistle, or yeah, finish them or what? So they went on to Abuja. I remember, I think I have the clip. Let's start with this. They went to Abuja then, and after the meeting, Malamu and the supposed governor from Southwest Nigeria said this.
For us, yes, sir. Just 1 minute, sir. How did the meeting go? What is that? Which meeting? We understand. Honorable Attorney General, I think you need to come here. AGF, sir. Okay.
AGM, sir, how did the meeting go? Have you found the middle ground? Sir?
Wait.
Okay. Your Excellency, sir. How did the meeting go, sir?
Well, we held a very fruitful discussion. The governors of Southwest, as you know, were all there. The meeting was presided over by the Vice President, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation was there, and the Inspector General of Police.
Sure.
So we have rubbed minds, and all of us have agreed on way forward. And most important one is that we are going to have the legal framework back this Amotekun, and this legal framework is going to be one in which all of us look at, and we'll be sure that it goes without any hindrance.
So would that mean now that the establishment of this outfit has been put on hold until the legal framework is developed?
No, what I believe our decision is that Amotekun is there.
Yeah.
Amotekun will have to, the federal government is starting community policing, and it's more of, in essence, really, it's about community policing. So we're going to work together and see the community policing and Amotekun work in the way.
Okay.
Would you like to tell us why there were no such consultations before the launch of the program?
No. There were consultations. Don't say there were no consultations. There were consultations.
Okay.
Because we held discussion with the ID then, and what has developed is what has led to this. Not that there were no consultations. We just felt that, look, with all this noise outside, it's better for us to sit down. I remember even immediately the noise started, I said that we are going to explore political solution. And all of us are here, my colleague, Deputy Governor of Oyo, who is of PDP, all of us are here. So we have looked at this solution to it now, political and legal solution to it. All of us will do it.
So what will you be telling your people that are already protesting out there?
Protesting about what?
Protesting,
saying that the government is they're saying for it, saying that the government is trying to stop something that they want. What message do you have for
the
them?
government is not
The
trying to
Attorney
stop.
General has clarified that.
The Attorney General has spoken. I'm sure you all read the statement that it was misinterpreted. So it's so clear. So there was no time. At no time the government wanted to stop Amotekun. That's what was go about it. And all of us believe that they don't want to stop Amotekun. And the Federal Attorney General hasn't spoken. It's all about us. So there's no problem.
Okay, maybe the Attorney General will set the record straight and
The record has been set straight by
the federal government's position from you, sir.
From you, sir.
And that was it. But guess what? The Amotekun Govt, as they call them, remained paper tigers in Yorubaland, where they ever set them up. In Ondo State, they are almost like non-existent. In Oyo State, where they seem to have like a record of, existence, is almost the same. Paper tiger, where they ensured that they were never allowed to carry proper ammunition like automatic rifles. They were never allowed. In one occasion like that, they engaged with these terrorists in this northern part of Oyo State, the border towns. Yeah? And so many of these Amotekun men sustained a lot of injury, like all kinds of injuries. And most of the terrorists, they claimed to have apprehended around that time. Up to this moment, we have no idea, right, what happened to them. I mean, under Boko Haram, even if you dare try to arrest, even if you dare arrest any of these terrorists, you are, by their law, you are expected to hand them over to the police. And by the arrangement, they are expected to be released, even without telling you. Now let's fast forward to a Yoruba man is your president now. Tifnumbu. So I was having a chat with someone a while back. Again, this person said something like, you know, I think there are some of you that usually say that too, who are Yorubas. Like, you are not a supporter of Tifnumbu, but you don't really like him. But what Tifnumbu is doing right now for them, I mean, to them in the north, you are happy with that. You see, this my pal said, if not because of Tifnumbu, Yorubas who have no voice in Nigeria today. That was what he said. Then I said, what can you tell me the advantage of anything visible? Like, apart from giving appointment to his friends, it's, his cronies, which does not reflect on the generality of the Yorubas. You know, apart from giving appointment to his cronies, making them rich, like Boko Haram did. Can you tell me one good specific thing that Tifnumbu's be your president, be Nigeria's president? What is that direct benefit for the Yorubaland? He couldn't really say anything. Then I said, let me give you some instances of how him being your president, Nigeria president right now, can actually be said, oh, it's a little bit of a blessing for the Yorubas. I said the first one is the security of Yorubaland. Obviously, the Nigerian army, Nigerian police, I believe they are overstretched anyway. Like, they are not even like adequate enough to provide security for everyone. I said, but you know that Amotekun exists in Yorubaland, and under Boko Haram, they ensured that Amotekun was never to be harmed. Harmed to the point where if the Fulani terrorist or any terrorist at all crosses the border down to Yorubaland, they will know what they are going to face there. I said, you know that Tifnumbu is #1 enemy of Yorubaland when it comes to security? It was like, how? I said, okay. Do you know that Tifnumbu is #1 person that actually opposed, even though he's been one of the people shouting state police, kind of like in their nonsense talk, through federalism, restructuring. I said, now he's been your president, Nigeria president now, right? And up to this moment, right, Amotekun is still not allowed to carry weapons, like proper weapons. I said, no, don't hear me. I'm asking you, like, if, and I said, do you know that Yorubas are still being kidnapped? Ransom still being paid. And in some areas, right, people are still having their own farms and what have you, right, destroyed by this miscreant, by this terrorists. I was like, Boko Haram ensured that we are not only weakened, he ensured that we continue to appear weak. And it is not just Western Nigeria, it is the entire southern part of Nigeria. I said, if there's going to be any advantage of having a Yoruba man as your president, right? By now, one of the things that could have been done is the safety, the security of lives and properties in Yorubaland. I said, right now, we are just on our own. Whatever you see is whatever you get. Now, when Seyi Makinde raised that alarm and said, the escaping terrorists from northern Nigeria, they are now finding their ways down to Oyo State and obviously to the rest of Yorubaland. So mine was, so and then what are you doing about that? Like, there is no, even though the ministers of defense and of state, they are both, Fulanis from northern Nigeria, fortunately. I said, if they pushed, by now, I expect the Amotekun Corps, right, in Yorubaland, which I kind of prefer to call them forest rangers. You know, one of the damages of the Fulani terrorists in Nigeria, what they did was to destroy, right, the ability of our people to grow their own food. They succeeded in that. That people have been chased away from their farms. And now, our people now face what you can call like, a potential, food shortages and then, starvation. So I said, if in 2 years, you have a Yoruba man as your president, and there were Yorubas, there are still some of them who were part of that arrangement. By now, we should be seeing the Amotekuns, right, fully armed with sophisticated weapons. Not these guys like the Iba Gani Adams that is saying, leave Yorubaland now or you die. These are just words of mouth. There's nothing to back that up. Nothing. So I expect the states like Ondo State, Ekiti State, Ogun State, Oyo State, Osun State to have the strongest Amotekun as we speak. But it's all ceremonial. It's all ceremonial. Because Tinubu didn't want to lose this power that is now managed to snatch and grab, right? He openly, secretly ensured that he antagonized the establishment of Amotekun because the North was pretty much apprehensive. They're like, no, you can't establish a security outfit of your own. And he was against it. It was. So now that he's gotten the power that he's been looking for, Abi, isn't it the right time for him to show something, which is without security, right? Without security, there's nothing that can happen. I know a lot of you are holed up in that, in that mega city, Lagos. You are holed up there, and yeah, you can't really travel by road in some of your own inner, what do you call it, to other states of other part of Yorubaland without the fear of being kidnapped. So, if there's anything at all that you want to say, the Yorubas should benefit for having a Yoruba man as your president, by now you should have the Amotekun everywhere. In fact, by now I expect to start seeing the news of Amotekun capturing these terrorists in our forest, right? And dealing with them with a special kind of like a special law in Yorubaland. Every state kind of make their own laws, right? I expect that. So when I read the news of these terrorists are escaping to Yorubaland, we are now telling you to leave. Who told you that the terrorists are going to leave because Iba Gani Adams says they should leave? Eh? They're not going to leave because he said, oh, yeah, leave. Eh? So if there's anything at all to make you kind of feel like, yeah, the security of lives and properties in Yorubaland is paramount to these weak men, right? I don't think there's anyone to be afraid of anymore. When they are doing the eye service with the Boko Haram and his gang, they are gone now. Yes, they are. So the safety of the Yorubas should not be negotiable. It should be a non-negotiable one. No? So Iba Gani Adams, if you happen to see my video, right? If you happen to see this, okay, I'll call him his name, Seyi Makinde. I don't think coming to tell us the danger that is upon us is in any way helpful, because indeed, if you go to all these border towns, if you go to the border towns like all these Shaki, Oyo, Ibarapa, Igboho, and all these areas, right? People around these places, they will tell you what they are facing. The den of kidnappers, which are mostly Fulani terrorists, they still exist in this region, in this part, and the people are on their own. Yes, they are on their own. Because after Oyo, Ogbomoso, these areas, right? The next is going to be Kwara. In Kwara, they have ungoverned areas in Kwara State. Ungoverned areas where there is no presence of government, there is no presence of security. The people living there, they are paying taxes to terrorists, the Fulani terrorists. and Kwara and Oyo, they are just next to each other. So how they manage to use the media to keep some of this news out of the media, as people believe that the Yorubas controls the media, how they have managed to keep some of this news away from the media needed to be studied. You know, maybe now that they have a Yoruba person as your president, so the ideal thing is to make it look like we are fine, except when they are not fine. There are communities ransacked where those people who have been chased away from their communities, they've never been returned back to those communities in Yorubaland, even in Ogun State. So Iba Gani Adams, don't give them warning. Right now, gone are the days. I want to believe gone are the days when the Boko Haram regime, they ordered the arrest of the OPC men who faced this Fulani terrorist in that same Oyo state. Can you imagine that? The victims of kidnapping, the victims of this terrorism, they reported to Gani Adams and his team. They put together a team. They went straight into the forest. They fought and faced these guys, shot some of them, killed them, and then they got orders. And once they brought them out with videos and everything, guess what? The police took this terrorist. And at the same time, they arrested those guys who went for the operation in Yorubaland. So Yoruba Council of Elders, if there's anything at all that you probably should be remembered for, it should be all of you reminding Tifnumbu that the safety and the security of Yorubaland is paramount. And it's already, the structure is there already. They should just make it work. You know, they should make it work. If they would. Anyway. Now we'll leave that for a moment. Let's go to Anambra. Oh, I think it's Anambra. Yesterday, the vigilantes set up by Soludo, they made a discovery. Now with evidence, all right? You see, the level of kidnappings, the insecurity in Anambra, especially in the last 1 year, has been like heart-shattering. Like terrible, okay? So, and people have been calling out almost every day. They have been calling out a solo dump every day. What is this, you know? Then he set up the vigilante. As much as we are a little bit concerned, you know, with their unorthodox or what have you way of handling things. But you see that discovery they made yesterday is alarming. And what was that? An hotel in Oba, in Anambra, you know, an hotel was supposed to be an hotel where people, you know, we're supposed to actually like be having their normal short stay, long stay, whatever, right? You should feel safe in an hotel, a government registered hotel. It wasn't just an hotel. It was in fact a burial ground, a graveyard. So the discovery they made was that that hotel was a kidnapper's den. I mean, they had customers. What I don't really get is this. But they're kidnapping their own customers. Like if I book an hotel and I go into an hotel and I didn't come out, won't people be looking for me? Won't they come to the hotel? What about the police? Won't the police be aware that people are going missing? Every time they claim to go to this hotel, they just, you know, they've gone missing. So my head has been like spinning and asking all these questions, right? So what happened? I don't know if it's by a tip-off. I don't know if it's by their own investigation. But somehow, what the police couldn't get or what the police couldn't discover, these vigilante guys discovered it. They said they found 30 graves. 30 graves. And then a shrine. What I have also not been able to confirm is that if they have dug these graves and found, you know, human remains or what have you, but immediately they raised the alarm that they found graves in an hotel. How can you find graves in an hotel? Right? So people just besieged the place. The owners, I think, has been arrested, and some of their staff as well, before they pulled the bulldozer to put the entire structure down. I think I have a clip from that, if you don't mind.
Start to them there. It's a matter of time to have your shrine and cartridge. Good life ammunitions were recovered. The time we were removing the pot.
Okay, the pot. Where are the pot?
They have the pot presently at the SAS office.
Okay, some of the things recovered. What is it happening?
These guys, right? And we recovered a pot. The pot has content of blood content, and we have live ammunition and some cartridges that we recovered from here. We've already moved it out and handed it over to police. The RRS of Okozo is currently with them. They kept it as evidence and also as exhibit. Okay, so you can see feathers. This thing, they built it on top of the hotel itself, where they perform most of the spiritual activities. Before you see most of those guys, they will see them jumping out of the hotel. Okay.
Yeah, the minute, that front at the minute.
Again, except for what they told us, there is no much kind of like, evidence presented. Normally, they shouldn't demolish their building of the property. It is a crime scene. And being a crime scene, all they had to do was to seal it off. Once you seal it off, then every content, every piece of content that you pick out of that place, it should be what? Should be thoroughly, scientifically, right? Investigated. So that, you would have an idea, all kind of horror, if there is any, all kind of horror that took place in that place. But it is Nigeria. It is always fire brigade approach. The news, and that's it. So I expected every room, every block, everywhere to be thoroughly researched or searched. You get what I mean now? All the ground thoroughly dug up, right? So that we can be very, very sure what were the activities, what were the things that happened in that place. But they don't do that in Nigeria per se. They don't even have, I don't think they have the equipment, all the necessary equipment to carry out such investigation. Or why are you demolishing the property right away? So I didn't see any human remain except for what that video and what this guy said. Okay, so they found a shrine, they found feathers, they found what looked like a blood. We are not sure if it's human blood or not. They found graves that you saw in the middle of that video, right? Graves, spot that was like a graves. They said they found a lot of them. And that's it. So immediately, everybody just went to town with that news. I was expecting more. I was expecting kind of a thorough piece by piece. And then once you are done, somebody will now come and brief us, tell us what happened inside that house, inside that building. The name of the hotel is gone now, though, right? But the name of the hotel, I think I have this there banner. Hang on. I think it's called Udoka Golden Point Hotel and Suites along Onitsha, Owerri Road, Oba. That's Ogugu Umueze Village, Oba. So they've had ladies. I mean, this is a thing that if a proper investigation is carried out, there's a chance that those who have gone missing, do you understand that, like people who have gone missing, either as guests or as member of that community, they can find their remains there, and the people, the families of those who have gone missing, they can have closure. I don't watch too much movies. Realize I don't watch too much crime movies or crime documentaries. So then that is giving me the imagination that Nigeria should do things the right way. Is that? Because to me, it's like the accuser, they are the ones hiding something. Sure, you get what I mean? Like they are the ones hiding something, not the hotel owner. You get? Because they were supposed to take even like months. You've found something, right? And the next thing is to seal up the place. Just seal it up. Once you seal it up, right? Then you can begin to investigate every room, every land, including the soil. You can take the soil, the blood they found. They can go take that to the lab and check if it's human blood. But since they said they were kidnappers then, boom, demolish the place. So the evidence is destroyed. We just have to rely on whatever they say now. Kidnappers then, 32, 33 graves. That's serious. That's terrible. But we don't have anything else to show. In 2025, I don't know why the rush. Why the rush? Why the rush? But it is Nigeria. So we will never know. Ever. And that is why you will never really see an end to crime in that contraption. Because what they are more after is the headlines. How they can really capture the headline. Hotels. This hotel, kidnappers hotel in Anambra, 33 graves found. And we found the arms and ammunition. And we also found their shrine. Say, Chineke me, that's terrible. That's a very, that's it. And the real criminals somewhere too, they're just smiling and laughing. I think. Because we will never know. Now, because we are in Anambra, Peter Obi has caused another ripple. And this time around, is that he actually called those in government as the criminals, as they are, like they are the Yahoo boys, Yahoo men, he called them. He said, there are more Yahoo men in government than the Yahoo boys you see out there. And according to him, the money that is looted from Nigeria in a single day, all over Nigeria by Yahoo men in government, right, is far, far more than what the Yahoo boys makes in a year. That sounds like an exaggeration, Abi. I don't think so. The rate at which they are looting Nigeria, Baba, you go fear. I don't think the Yahoo boys in Nigeria make up to, what do you call it, 1 billion, did they make up to $1 billion in a year? The amount of money these criminals loot from Nigeria, if you combine it in a year, is more than $100 billion. From all over the place, so governors, senators, smugglers. No, sorry, not smugglers. I'm talking about those of them who are supposed to actually protect the commonwealth of the contraption, but they are sharing it among themselves. If you pull all of it together, it's more than $100 billion. But they are doing so smiling to the banks. They are even being protected by the police, DSS, army. So he said this while he was speaking to the graduating class of 2024, Nexford. It's called Nexford University. Let's see if you can hear that from here.
All Bola have preached today is about you're going out there and helping to build a better society. Don't go out thinking about how you're going to make money. If that is what you're thinking, you've lost it. If it's about making money, if it's about doing this, go and check all those who actually made meaningful money. They do so by changing the society. They didn't go out to make money. So bringing that, being that leader that will ignite that change, will not be about you going out there to say, I want to be rich, I want to make money, I want to do this. That is why you have all the vices we are going to today. From governance, don't think when we talk about vices, it is only Yahoo boys. There's actually more Yahoo people in government than there is in outside. Because we have turned the entire country into a crime scene. Where people inside are stealing, people outside is stealing. No. It is for you to help to bring a better change in that society that you want to live. That society that is looking for people. Your knowledge today, what you're going through today, you've acquired all that anybody can acquire anywhere. Like I told you, I've been to different schools. And I can tell you, I always say to people, if the people who are even in the Western world go to school in the condition we go to school here, they won't even pass. I can tell you that because I've been to good schools where I have to feel whether I want a particular type of fish, salmon, this, that. Whether you want to wine. I've always said with my experience in my first school outing that I didn't know that I've paid fees. So for 1 week, we'll go to eat. They asked me whether I can take wine. I said, I don't want wine. Ice cream, I said, I don't want. This one, I don't want. After about a week, an American who was there said to me, Peter, you don't take these things, but they are part of the fees you've paid. I said, Chineke, why didn't I know these things? So you can imagine what happened in the next 2 weeks. They had to offer me, from time to time, they would give me a bottle of wine, say, take it to your room. Because I was trying to cover up what I missed. Because I went to a school where if you see beer, you won lottery. All of a sudden, you're drinking wine after meal. So all this, I said, you're struggling, you're doing this. It is for you to now use that to all Bola have preached today.
Because according to him, which is right, okay, is right, the people that became rich in this world, I'm not talking about the Nigeria rich, because your rich uncles, your rich aunties, if you check them very well, they are criminals, okay? And I'm not saying that they didn't pretend to be having a particular business, but by the time you begin to dig, you realize that they are in bed with the ruiners of Nigeria. And that is somehow how they actually made their money. Do you get that now? However, the people that actually made money, rich people in this world, they did not go out to be rich per se. They became rich by providing solution. And you could provide solutions to anything. You look around here, like, okay, there's something short here. There are people who suffer to get. You know what? I'm going to fix that problem. And in the process, right, you see these millions patronizing what the solution you have provided. And then boom, you are a billionaire. Not the type you have in Nigeria. Unfortunately. Don't be say everybody where they're there no make their money legit. There are those who actually make their money legit. But if you are a student anywhere and you want to become rich, you have to kind of go and look for what solution, what problem you want to create the solution for. Yeah. When you look at the people who are rich, especially those who spend their time going to school. But if you just want to be all right, you just want to be okay, yeah, you can just go out there and just, right, go get a job. But you want to be rich, like money rich, you must offer a solution to whatever it is that is lacking around you. And that is what education does to people. You are innovators. You are like a creators, except in Nigeria, where people just want to join politics or they want to join their government job so that they can actually make what do you call it for themselves. And in the process, how to kind of shortchange the system as well. But he's also right. When you look at the level of looting that takes place in Nigeria, about you go fear, right? If you look at the criminals in charge of Nigeria today, the likes of starting from Tifnumbu, nobody can tell you that this is Tifnumbu's job. And they said Tifnumbu made this money from the pension they paid him from Deloitte and ExxonMobil, right? But there is a record that he actually worked for ExxonMobil. You get? But his salary was $1,230 a month. But the person that was earning $1,200 had over $5 million in the bank account in America because he was involved in heroin trafficking. He was their banker. So, where did he make his money? How did he fund Nadeco? From drug money. And there are many of your uncles and aunties like that. If you go check, how did they make their money? Shady, criminal ways. But they are the ones that will kind of advise you, face your studies, okay? You need to go past your, and come out in flying colors and all of that stuff. Then they join politics. Politics where it is easier to just change 100 to 1 billion. All you have to do is just add some extra zeros. Or 100,000, change it to 100 million. Just add some zeros. They take the money out. They have their friends. If they are not establishing banks, then they have friends who have banks that will launder the money for them. Money laundering. You know? And money laundering is not let me say this. So money laundering is not like you have to pack when you steal money. You may be wondering how your criminal politicians, how they have been able to smuggle money out of Nigeria. How? Did they pack the money inside briefcase? Right? Pack the money inside briefcase and just load it onto the plane and then boom, they move out. No, money laundering is just them steal money from government. In most cases, they have all these international partners who come in to come and collect contracts, road contracts. And yeah, they inflate the contracts. And once the money leaves government cover, it's legit. Then from there, their own shares is paid into different bank accounts abroad. And yes, they are rich, super rich. You have people who are so rich without any enterprise, wealth without enterprise. They have no business, they have nothing, but they are billionaires. And that's how they loot the system every day, every day. A friend of mine once told me, yeah, that in Abuja, he had this pal. I don't know if they are still friends, and I don't know if he's still that influential. At the back of his car, he has different contracts, sort of approval. Sure, you get. So let me explain that the way he told me. You see, you may see this Ministry of Niger Delta. So Ministry of Niger Delta, they have these contracts, and that contract is 80 million naira, and it is to supply pumping machine to some communities in Delta. But you don't have to, okay? The budget has been approved, okay? What they need now is just you. They'll say the name of the company, the name of everything, they've drafted everything in piles like that. So they said this guy will open his car boot. Just like, I don't have cash. Okay, you know what? Take this one. Tomorrow morning, go to the Ministry of Niger Delta. Go and present it. Put your name on that space there. You just put your name, Mayegun General. And I'll walk straight into the Ministry of Niger Delta. And once I presented this profile, that's it. Within a day or two, my check will be ready. And he has contracts for almost all the ministries. If you look at it, this one, take this one, 80 million, 100 million, 200 million. It's there, the money is there. Once you get to the ministry, once you present it like that, right, with your bank details and everything, right, then your check will be ready. The guys in the ministry, there, the guys working on the desk or what have you there, right, they will take their share. You kind of have to give them their own share. And then, yeah, you work out, you cash out 80 million, pay 20 million bribe, the remaining 60 million, and yours. It's yours. In Abuja. And these are just like ferifera, stealing, looting. The real Ogbonge looting, is happening inside, where billions upon billions of Nigerian naira, that is tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. And they all have this Burundi change owned by the Northerners. All you have to do is to pay them their own percentage. State governors will collect monthly allocation. They will carry the bag of money, go give it to the, not bag of money per se, transfer the money to the Burundi change. Did they even transfer? Yeah, bag of money. They take them to the Burundi change. The Burundi change will take their own cut, change it to dollars for them, and then boom, the money is out of Nigeria. Every month. If you work with all these criminal politicians, bag of money flies left, right, and center, like money is going out of circulation in that contraption. I don't think Yahoo boys actually have that same expertise. I don't think so. Yeah, Burundi change, the BDCs. It is so simple. It's so easy. Damn it, man. So he's right. People who want to become so rich without inventing anything, without creating anything. There are so many in that contraption. And you will see them. They say stupendously rich. They will now go and open to launder their money. Some of them will open car wash. Some of them will open hotel. Yeah, they will have hotels. Because all it takes is just to put the money in the bank, right? You have to prove that the money is legit. So if you have a bank, if you have a hotel, all right, doesn't matter if people patronize you or not, okay? You can have a nightclub. So the money you are looting from government, right? All you have to do is just mix it with the money you are making from your hotel. That's it. So for example, right, you can be going to the bank. Yeah, you can be using your hotel or using your car wash or using your car mats. You don't even have to sell any much cars. You can be going to the bank every weekend or every day, okay, with hundreds of millions of naira. You just tell them that, yes, that is why you walk into some nightclubs in Nigeria today. They are selling a bottle of drink. They are selling it for 1.5 million naira, 2 million naira, 10 million naira bottle of drink. And you'll be like, Baba, this whole thing for outside now, I mean, you know, reach 100,000 naira. Money laundering. When they steal money from government, or when they make money from drugs, drug dealing, to clean the money, because you can't just pack the money and take it to your bank. You have to mix the money with something legit. You can open a boutique, you can open a car wash, you can open a nightclub. All right. So every weekend you can go to your bank and say, last weekend though, we sold 200 million naira bottles of drinks in your own nightclub. These are looted money. These are drug money. They launder it. Once you enter the bank, it mixes with the regular money. And that's it. It's clean. So next day, you can go on and withdraw some of the money. It's legit. You have a business. That's what they are doing, the criminal politicians in that contraption. That's why you see everywhere. Rather than for them to build factories, industries, they are building hotels, nightclub, car wash, hotels. Because that's the easiest way to say, we make so much money last night. You know? And yes, the EFCC knows about them. They do. But the only thing is that they are also in on it. When they go for the Yahoo boys, they leave the Yahoo men. You know? The Yahoo men and all that. Anyway, that's just by the way. Okay? It is unfortunate that you have a system where those who spend their time to go to school, they are watching those who didn't give a shit about school, right? And they are living so large, they are living so big, and then you'll be wondering that, you that went to school, what is that value? Like, this is the society you have done now in that contraption. No? This is their society now. And there's no amount of fraudsters you see in Nigeria that can be compared to the government fraudsters. And that is why the system is so, gosh, man. And I don't know where you want to start from. I don't. Because if you said that you should begin to do things right, then you would have to start from those in government. And if you have to start from those in government, we'll start with Tifnumbu. So if we first capture Tifnumbu, Shitty Man, Gbajabia Mole, Akpabiole, Abbas, and the rest of them, by tomorrow evening, you could don't have like about 400 to 500 of them waiting to be shot at Babish in Lagos. Along, like if you really want to clean the system, or say, okay, we'll do and right too. Now, Tifnumbu they go first hang for Babish. Oh, hang on. Before Tifnumbu, we'll first capture Atifku, capture Boko Haram, Malamu's children, Boko Haram's children. I'm serious. Ilema Kuni, like Okumako. Everywhere, because these are the real people. If you have a working system, be China. You understand what I'm saying? Like China. you will realize that a working system would have all these people hang. I'm a give everybody, kind of. Before the system cleansing, we get to the Yahoo boys. What ye give majority? Like somebody said, we're a wicked. A lot, I'm saying a lot. Before it will get to the Yahoo boys. I'm not sparing you because all of you serve Yahoo boys. So my year before you know last, you know what I mean? Like in a working system. But if you see what these guys have done, how worse than it is worse than treason. In fact, if there's anything worse than treason, that's what they have done. Sabotaging your own system, sabotaging your own country, financially, destroying your own system because of your own greed, financially. Baba. There's nothing worse than that. Oh. There must be something worse than treason because you are entrusted, right, with the resources of the country. You are holding sensitive positions and you decided, because yes, you can, because you can, you decided to corner the resources from millions of people. That is betrayal. You betrayed the trust of the country. You betrayed the trust of the people. Out of millions of people, you are selected to lead them. And then you shortchange them. You now plunged millions into poverty. That's the highest betrayal ever. You don't understand. But they get away with it in that contraption. Unfortunately, they do. Talking about Budgetary, right? I'm going to take you through to where they are doing budget defense. In Nigeria, they've had chief of staff. You know, Budgetary was the former speaker. As a former speaker, it was Budgetary as well as Robert Stamplawan that collected $50 million. You heard me right, oh, $50 million. So that they could pass a bill that cleared Boko Haram of printing 27.5 trillion naira that nobody knows. $50 billion. You dey hear me? $50 billion. That was how much Boko Haram printed in naira. 27.5 trillion naira. Boko Haram printed 27.5 trillion naira without the National Assembly approval. But just 6 days before the end of Boko Haram's tenure, National Assembly, the Senate, and the reps, they collected $50 million, Baba, $50 million to share among all the House of Representative members and the senators. To now say Boko Haram call, he got approval from them. Baba, they voted that the money Boko Haram printed received the National Assembly approval. So that if me and you continue to scream till tomorrow, Boko Haram in the face of their law is done nothing wrong. Did you know that? Boko Haram, if more we shout from till today, to the end of this year, in the face of their law, Boko Haram did nothing wrong. National Assembly, that was supposed to be the checks and balancing, right? Checks and balances of the executive. Boko Haram printed 27.5 trillion. Ways and means. Nobody knows what they use the money for. Nobody can say this is what they use the $50 billion for. Nobody. For 6 days. May 23rd, 2023. Budgetary collected $15 million. They won't beat themselves, so it later turn to Wahala. $15 million. They said they should share money. Budgetary shared $10,000. It was supposed to give them more. Budgetary shared $3.5 or so million, and he kept for himself, right? Over $11 million. $11 million. He kept it for himself. He ran away from the National Assembly. Do you remember? Do you even remember that? Any of you, do you remember that? Don't worry. I know they forget. If you have forgotten, I don't. Yeah, but they can't do anything. he cheated his own colleagues. Immediately they gave them that $10,000. He just, he didn't go back to the National Assembly until they all closed up. He didn't go back there again. Meanwhile, the senators collected over, to $250,000. So the reps collected 10,000. But Abiamole gave them 10,000 or something. $50 million to cover up Boko Haram's corruption, to legalize it. And they did. They did. Today, that debt is part of the Nigerian debt today. $50 billion. Nobody knows what Boko Haram used the money for. 27.5 trillion naira. Nobody knows. But in the face of the law, he didn't do anything wrong. It's legal. But when he was printing the money, he didn't tell them. There is no approval. And that's why Tifnubu is doing the same thing right now. Tifnubu has printed over 25 trillion naira. 25 trillion naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria. They printed and gave it to him. Nobody knows what he used the money for right now. In 20 months. So Gbajabiamila Amole became the chief of staff to Tifnubu. Today he is the chief of staff. And guess what? A luta continua. The looting continues. Before him, the chief of staff to the president, the highest budget has been 2.5 billion naira. For the office of the chief of staff, let him maintain office chief of staff office. The highest, the previous occupier spent was 500 million naira. But guess what? Gbajabiamila Amole is budgeting. Oh dear. Lord, Nigeria is finished, man. Forget it. Gbajabiamila Amole in 2024, for his own office, he spent 10 billion naira, 10 billion to maintain his own office, inside the office, 10 billion. The entire office or square of the chief of staff budget for 2024 was, how much? Was over 22 billion naira. That's how much he got. 30-something billion was what he spent. Guess what in 2025? Gbajabiamila Amole want to spend 20 billion for inside his office alone. Alaye bought one printer. Because that's the way I see it. Because when you hear all this money, they are real low. Help. They bought one printer for 1.5 billion naira. Printing machine, 40 pounds. Industrial printing machine, 1,000 pounds. They bought one for 1.5 billion naira. 1.9 billion, not 1.5, 1.9 billion naira for printer in 2024. Gbajabiamila Amole want to spend 20 billion naira. Okay, they are doing budget defense. Let's go there. I'll show you.
Show of staff to the president, 20 million appropriated, 20 billion appropriated, 20 billion release. You go to chief security officer, you see 112 million, 25%, 25 million release out of 112 million. Now, all those, we need an explanation as what they are. But what is cardinal, why I read this question is, why is the office of the chief of staff carries 20 billion and the office of the president has less than 1 billion, 799 million, and then the office of the vice president has 75 million? You see the number of releases. The president has about 62 to 63% release, but the office of the vice president, 33 million, that's less than 18%. And the office of the chief of staff, 33 million.
Less than 5%.
Less than 5%. Less than 5%. So why are these discrepancies? That's one. Just jot it, and then you go to You go to the next page, purchase of motor vehicles. Just jot it. Pumps are abusing purchase of motor vehicle. Open the page. Purchase of motor vehicles of State House operational vehicles. Appropriation was 4 billion. Releases was 3.9 billion. Replacement of SWAP SUV vehicles. You have appropriated 2 billion, released 2 billion. Now, these operational vehicles, here when you come, because we have not been to oversight, what kind of vehicles are we talking about? And how many of them have you purchased? What's the model? And then you talked also about the replacement of SUV vehicles, which you have appropriated 2 billion and released 2 billion. What is replacement? What is replacement? And how many of them have you replaced? I'm sure I will allow you.
Well, first of all, I guess I want to first of all take you back to that table. The first table the Civil Senator Abdul Ningi has spoken about. I want to tell you that whoever prepared this table, prepared it to deceive us. To deceive us, to deceive people. It's completely for a deceit. That's what I mean. You can't release less than 5% and tell us you have 100% utilization. That's deceit. I'm an accountant. You can't prepare this. This is not a report. You release less than 5% and you told us that 100% utilization. In budget performance, 100% utilization. Look at it very well. I don't know who prepared it. I don't know who prepared this. Who prepared it? Is it an accountant that prepared it? If it's an accountant, if it's an underbridge accountant, I will tell them to revoke his license. You can't put this to us. You give somebody less than 5%. Then we are coming here and saying you have utilized 100% of 33 million. 33 million, you are giving office of vice president. Even office of the president, you are giving him 400 and something million less than, it's about 50 or something percent or 50 something percent, and you are saying 100% release. If somebody look at it and you take the office of the chief of staff with 20 billion release and 14 billion utilization, I now say 75% utilization. Is it not deceitful? 75% utilization. Somebody will feel, okay, vice president have given 100%, president have given 100%, but this one is just 75%. But when you go into the detail, it's not telling us the right thing. I think next time, you need to prepare this budget properly so that nobody will be deceived. People that are not account, I was just telling Abdul, you say 18%. I said, no. 33 billion is less than, 33 million is less than 5%, because 10% is 75 million of 700 or something million, isn't it? So it's less than 5%. Nobody will see this and take us to be serious people. And when it comes to operational vehicles, you say operational vehicles, yes. You now say SUV. What is operational vehicle? What is SUV? We want to know the type of the vehicles that are operational that are not SUVs. And then what are the SUVs, which are replaced according to what Abdul has asked. But you cannot tell Nigerians we have operational vehicles in presidency that does not include SUV. It's a lie. You have operational vehicles different, you have SUVs different. So who are you deceiving? We should clearly state things the way they are so that we'll be able to interpret them the way they are. Period. Thank you.
By the time Tifnubu and his gang are done, una go know where una body remain. You see, when I was kind of like reading through this their fake budgets, To do them mummy. Alone. I don't know why. Would the best feel cold? Started feeling cold. I don't know if it's because I was angry or maybe I was hungry. Musha, Arami said too. Because it is more or less like these guys are living in their own world. And me and you get problem. Like everything is fine. Last year, they claimed to be buying vehicles, operational vehicles, a chemical vehicle, SUV, operational vehicle, but they are in billions and billions. They didn't say how many vehicles. It just said operational. It's just SUV, operational SUV. They didn't say, okay, we bought 15 cars, we bought 30 cars for 2 billion. No. But these guys who are buying one vehicle for 1 billion, they are buying one car. Sometimes 2-3 cars for 2 billion naira. Billion. Then you would expect that must be brand new cars. Brand new. That should last for like another maybe 4 years. And I say you don't see anybody where they buy car every year. Any normal person where they buy brand new car every year to normal to surely. Because why would you need new car every year? What happened to the one you had last year? Eh? How can you buy 1 billion naira is a lot of money. But 1 billion naira is a lot of money. As useless as Nigerian naira is, 1 billion is a lot of money. 2 billion, 3 billion, 20 billion. The nisuru to your long. The beru long. Takula. Beru long. Because that's how I was kind of like feeling. It's just money to them. It's just like, they in a poverty, they worry you. See how they get when you're shanlori. See how much they come out of your head because you hear 1 billion. It's just nothing. Because I can imagine what a genuine 1 billion naira can do in a society or in a country like that contraption when you see people who are dying because of 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira medical kilorukwe, paracetamol. Hey, but they don't care. In 2025, they need to buy another set of vehicles again. Abba. You hear all this billion they are calling. It is so confusing sometimes. Even for these criminal senators. Sometimes when they look at the figure, 24 million, 24 billion, 240 billion, 20 billion. Senator, you know if you count, you know if you read again, because what you do everybody. Office of the Chief of Staff, somebody who is just like a supposed secretary to the president. Oh, you need to listen to be this small. Please watch this. There is more.
Pointed the arrow to something. My question is now, is it a deliberate attempt to underfund the office of the vice president or is by coincidence? That's my question.
That's a fact. That what the person that prepared the table captured was performance over releases, and I did circulate an extra document while I was presenting, which clearly stated the performance over the budget, so which states it exactly as it is, and I apologize for that mistake in the document that was earlier submitted. So that's on the one hand. And then secondly, the issue of type of vehicles, SUV, operational vehicles, again, nobody is trying to deceive anybody. That is exactly how it was captured in the 2024 budget. And when we're showing the performance, we must capture it the way they wrote it. Unfortunately, as Senator Ningi observed, we apologize for that. The document is not well paged, so I could have shown you there. But if you go towards the back, the 2024, a copy of 2024 appropriation is included here, and it is captured exactly like that. Operational vehicles, SUV, and all of that. So we have to respond according to how it was captured in the budget. Now, again, I don't know how the budget was finalized in 2024, but you will see that the item, I stated that there are 7 cost centers. But when they prepared it last year, or in 2023, and it was passed, the item 20 billion captured in the office of the Chief of Staff is erroneous, for anybody who doesn't dig deeper, and that is what is causing this misconception. Because when I go into the details, which is also here, you will see that many of the items that have been implemented in that high percentage performance, an example is renovation of Vice President quarters in Lagos, 5 billion. It's captured as part of that 20 billion in the office of the Chief of Staff. Yes. Sorry, sir. Sir? Sorry, sir. Maybe. Yes. That's what I apologize for. I'm really sorry for that. But it's yes. Yes, sir. Chief of Staff, yes, sir. And the breakdown is there. So they are not, the budget is not for the Chief of Staff, but unfortunately that's how it was captured as that cost center. And, it includes rehabilitation of the liaison of the Dam Barracks in Lagos. It's part of the items in there, which has been fully utilized, and the Vice President Staff quarters, as I stated earlier, and other items. So there is no deliberate attempt to underfund any of the cost centers. And when we talk about the operational vehicles and all of that, they are not meant for. So what I think should have happened is the State House headquarters is where all of those should have been, because the headquarters, which is actually the administrative part of the State House, takes care of all the offices. But for whatever reason, that lump sum was captured under the Chief of Staff. And I dare say that in my meeting with him, a couple of days ago, telling him I'm coming to, he said, please, I don't want this headache again. Make sure you correct that. Because he did point to me that even last year when the budget was, published, he had a lot of headache having to be justifying why is there 20 billion on the office of the Chief of Staff, which is erroneous. So it's an opportunity for us to also say that, so that he doesn't want the same mistake again. And hopefully we won't have this kind of misconception to think it is this way or that. And then there were, on the issue of bottom-up releases, the State House is not exempt. It's part of the issues we are also contending with. Because once you are all part of the GIFMI system, for now everybody is stuck with that system. We have complained, and other ministries have complained. It's still being looked at. We hope it to be reviewed, because it does affect the operation really of the State House. Why it seems also that some of the performance, is also more than the other is the items that are captured. So I give an example. When you have issue of, the renovation and maintenance of the State House facilities, okay, whatever, they just keep doing the work because it is in the budget. They know they'll get paid. So they keep doing the work, and when we record it, whenever the bills come, we push it into the system. Sometimes the money is paid and we just update our records, because it is a system that everybody knows must not fail. Okay, so, and hopefully we have formidable contractors that have been doing the work for a long time, so they are able to do it. But other areas that involve, actual procurement and bringing new people, those are the areas you will see are still lagging behind, also because of the same system that affects everybody. So
sorry, Chairman. But you have releases.
Yes, sir.
Without the work being completed. It's not so in the other ministries. Nobody gets anything. The money is paid to the State House directly. In some ministries, no.
So let me explain, sir, if I may. So the bottom-up approach, okay, really, I know the challenge is that it's not a new system, but this time around they went even further than how it was, in 2020 to 2023. And it took a lot of MDAs, time to understand what needs to be done. Really what needs to be done is for everybody to front load their proposed expenditure into the system to prepare the Ministry of Finance and the Office of Accountant General on the payments they will need to make in future. So when you upload it, they make the provision there. You can see it on your system that the money is there. So that's what we mean by release. Not that it has been kept in an account somewhere. So when you put it, they make it available, and when your bills start coming.
Of our grading leaders. Oh, Thunder, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. Or join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their agenda. Furthermore, our security agents.
If I am somewhere and I have to come and defend billions, now from where they sweat, they're going to say, I'll be thief. I don't think I'll be able to sit comfortably unfazed and then be lying that the 20 billion for Gbajabiamila Amole's office is to renovate Aso Rock, to renovate Jordan Barracks. And you said it when they were asking him, when he was responding to the SUV, operational vehicle. In some face, he said, it's erroneous. It shouldn't have been put there. It's meanwhile, it is the Ministry of Finance that is releasing all this money to them, okay? So how is Gbajabiamila Amole the one renovating Aso Rock? Or how come the budget for Tinubu's vehicles is in the budget for Gbajabiamila Amole? When you see those ones who sat there, they themselves are culpable, sure you get, and they can see through the entire scheme, and there's little they can do. Duplication, multiplication, and what have you of all these dubious figures in their budgets. It's too much work for some of them to really scrutinize and expose. You see that guy, you go no saying don't say it's on face. It's erroneous. It's erroneous. It's I'm only wow. I'm strong, yo. I don't think I'm that kind of like a strong-willed. So I would just be like, I don't think I want to do this. So but they know they can't be, they won't be punished. In Abuja, in the FCT budget, you remember that it was with a wiki that spent 21 billion in building Shittiman Vice President's house. Remember? It was also with a wiki that also spent 4 billion in renovating the Vice President's house. Do you also know that it is also with a wiki in this 2025 budget, where the wiki want to spend almost 15 billion, 10 billion. They say 10 billion for rent. Aso Rock. That they pay rent for Aso Rock to their loan. Takula. Did you know that? The Aso Rock, we don't know the landlord though, but every year they are paying rent on Aso Rock. The rent for Aso Rock in 2025 is about 3 billion naira. And you will be say you the rent, your landlord they collect that kind of money, but you are spending over 10 billion naira to renovate the place every year. She want that not Aso Rock every year. Are they burning the Vice President's house every year? Because this year now, they have to spend another, they built a house for Shittiman last year, 21 billion. In 2025 budget, they want to spend 4.5 billion to maintain the house. House where they just build though. Abuja house, which Till now, Shitman never moved into the new house, 21 billion house. He never moved in. Till now, he never moved in. House that Shitman is here to move in, they want to spend 4.5 billion to maintain it this year. Aguda house, where Shitman is staying, the same house where Pastor Ruga stayed for 8 years, this year, they want to renovate it with 2.5 billion. So one that not someone laying. There's a National Assembly complex in some rent. For who? To who? 10 billion naira. House of Assembly. National Assembly rent. Jesus to in fact, make everything just cook and got everybody call, everything everybody big balo. Because it can only get worse. It will only get worse. All this money. What the heck, man? What do you want to use all this money for? All this money. What kind of greed is this? Dodon Barrack, last year, they spent 5 billion renovating Dodon Barracks. This year, they want to spend another 7 billion to renovate Dodon Barrack. So what not Dodon Barrack, Kini? Is Dodon Barrack on fire? Did Dodon Barrack burn down this? I don't understand. Tifnubu barely stays there. They have a house for Shitman in Lagos. He never stayed there. But they will renovate the place. Every year. Every year. I don't understand, man. I do, though. I do. It's just I'm kind of like, it's frustrating. Seeing all these guys get away with all of this. Like, they get away with all of this. Donald Trump moved into the White House. Baba, I know you say they spend $100 million to renovate White House for Donald Trump. J.D. Vance moved into the vice presidential quarters. Baba, the guy put up a post saying, man, we know that this is not our house, but myself and my wife and our children, we are grateful to you Americans. This is actually a very beautiful house. Baba, so they spent $100 million renovating J.D. Vance's house in America. You don't go on, Gonse. What is going on, man? What the heck, man? There's so many, It's frustrating, honestly. Because all this money can really change a lot of things in that contraption. A lot of things. Provide access to healthcare for the people, access to education, access to, women care as well. In this 2025, women are dying during childbirth. In 2025, people are dying from giving birth. Preventive diseases are killing people in that place. And these guys are just like, This is frustrating, man. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's crazy. They'll tell you it is how it is done. This is how we do it. This is, if now your own turn. Why are people like this? If now you unko, what do you mean if now me unko? I don't want to be your president. Just thinking that those who have the chance shouldn't actually be living like this without consequences. There should be consequences. There should be. Fortunately, there will never be any. And as for Kolu, who is living like a royalty, he's in Tanzania right now. And then the guys who are following him all about, they were happy that they are beating drum and dancing to welcome him in Tanzania. And the rest of you in darkness.
Welcome again. How are you? I came ahead of you, although I couldn't be here with you. Welcome.
Ọlọ́nìyàn kí ló kàn kọlu.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
That's part of what I say. Now, briefly, right? This is international. Since Kolu is in Tanzania, an area called Goma, which is the north of Kivu, in Congo Democratic, Congo DRC, or Congo DR rather, or DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. They have been having this, they call them rebels, but I call them terrorists. So the government versus the rebels. The rebels who also control the mineral-rich region of south of Congo. So they have been battling with, the government has been battling with them, even though people have accused Rwanda that the same Rwanda rebels called the M23 back then, they believe that the same Rwanda rebels are the ones trying to take over this part of Congo. So the people of that axis, they have not known any peace for decades now. So yesterday, in fact, for the past 4 days, there's been like an endless sort of a gun battle between the government of Congo in Kinshasa, supported by the South African forces, as well as some Rwanda special commando forces, right? So the people are now trapped. The civilians who are trapped in between, they now realize that the rebels, they are having the upper hand, and they are just headed for Goma. Now, the civilians themselves who have received this news, they are now moving en masse out of that town or that city in Congo. Meanwhile, the United Nations, who has been supposed to, who have their own special forces there too, trying to broker peace, they have been accused of getting involved in the whole, in the whole sort of like they've taken side according to reports. And it's all about the smuggling of the mineral resources like gold and what have you from that axis. So the trapped civilians were seen earlier today running away to God knows where, briefly. So it is more or less like obvious that the rebels are taking over Goma. They've taken over some of the neighboring towns and what have you in the fight, and it's been like bloody. So this city called Goma is almost the last stronghold in their advancement into the heartland of Congo. So there are joint forces fighting them. Somehow, people believe that, including France is also kind of fighting them, but people believe that these M23 rebels, right, they are beginning to gain or have upper hand. So it's just going to be a matter of time before they will take over the this northern Congo or so. I mean, it is southern Congo or so. It's called South Kivu area of Congo. So the people are, those who are staying back, they are staying back because they have nowhere to run to. While those who think they can still possibly escape from the wrath of this rebel are living. So it's chaos. Women, children, they have been subjected to the most inhuman, horrible kind of conditions that you can think of ever. It's unfortunate, as people believe that Congo should have been, if it is not, the supposed richest country in the whole world. There's nothing that is not existing in Congo. And for decades, corrupt politicians plus the neo-colonists from outside the region, outside the country, they have kept the place, right? In, God damn it, man. Honestly, it's one of the sad story out of Africa, so to say. And there is no end in sight, right? You need to see children who have become slave labor in their own country, you know, tilling the dirt for any mineral resources just before they can feed. It's horrible. Just go online and search for Congo DR, life in Congo DR. You will weep or cry for what the greed and selfishness of humans have done to these people, fortunately. So we will keep monitoring that on the side. You know, hopefully the tide will turn, but there's no end in sight, none whatsoever, right? So here is another one just before we wrap it up. It's from Lagos, the mega city, where Wahab again took us on a drive or on a ride through this part of Lagos. Are you interested, right? Let's go to Lagos, the mega city.
You don't want anybody. You don't want anybody. That's why I think it's that you are not able to. So they will come again Eléyìí máa rò bí fóun ti ṣe fẹ́ bá kì í sìn lọ kò ṣe inú kan. Ẹ wò sẹ́pì tàǹkì ẹ̀ ló kọ́ síbi ìtẹ́ńṣọ̀n kan máa pàṣẹ ni. Okay, we came in this morning to ascertain the level of compliance with respect to the notices issued on Thursday. We start on the notices and statutorily, we should have paid what we were required to do by the law. By Tuesday, we start the full removal of all those extensions that are exceeding public infrastructure. Now, you also notice people are just taking the laws into their hands. They'll put their building materials.
Let me save you the rest. So the video quality is quite poor this time. But yeah, he's doing his best to try to make people comply. It's called compliance in their effort to stop the environmental abuse, degradation, street trading, and this field that is now very synonymous with Lagos. And every day, it seems like they've done almost nothing. So, but we leave it at that, okay? But because we are still in Lagos, all right? Yesterday, the Lagos State House of Assembly guys released a video in order to counter the cries of Obasa that claimed that he was not properly removed. So he remained the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. So they released a video to show the proceeding of removing him as their Speaker, which took place just about 2 weeks or so ago. It's like, yeah. So I want to share that with you if you haven't seen that before, okay? Here was how Obasa was removed, just for his own eyes only, on the rest of us as well, right? To show that they did the right thing, removing him. And they claimed that they elected him or chose him. Now they have unchosen him. So what is the cry is all about? Lagos State House of Assembly and the removal of Obasa in camera.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I, Honorable Femi Said, representing Koshofer Constituency 2, brings to the House, under matter of urgent public importance, motion for the removal of the Speaker. Right Honorable Mudashir Ajayi Obasa as the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly. In line with the provision of section of 92, section 2, section 6, C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I hereby move that the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashir Ajayi Obasa, be removed as Speaker of this House Assembly for the following reason. 1. Gross misconduct and poor leadership, including perpetual lateness to legislative sections and meetings. 2. High-handedness and lack of regard for honorable member at all times, intimidation and suppression of members, including inciting members against one another. 3. Financial impropriety, misappropriation of funds and lack of transparency in its management of the House of Assembly funds. 4. Gross abuse of office and privileges, as the Speaker of the House of Assembly via authoritarian and undemocratic leadership style. 5. The erosion of trust among honorable members due to unethical practices and inability to carry the majority of members' assembly along in decision making. Resolved that the Speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, be removed as the Speaker of this Lagos State House of Assembly. I so move.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues. This morning I rise this afternoon to second the motion of removal of Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, as the Lagos State House of Assembly, ably moved by Honorable Femi Said. I so second them.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Continue. 70 years old man. Jesus is Lord. Continue. 70 years old man. Jesus is Lord.
That was how Obasa got removed. Those in favor say hi. Those in favor say hi. Hi. Those in favor say hi. Hi. Those against say nay. Wow. The eyes have it. That's Obasa removed. So they decided to upload that video yesterday so that Obasa that is ranting will know that he has no real anything to fight. And if he dares to come to the to the State Assembly tomorrow, not only that he will be barricaded out, he will be arrested like his own supporters. And right now, we are all waiting for what is going to happen tomorrow. Right? So it was reported that Obasa probably was aware that they were going to try to remove him. So when he was going to Canada, he decided to hide the two maces in the House of Assembly mace. Two of them, he hid them away. They had to go to Ikeja local government to get that mace you saw in that video in order to remove Obasa. I'm not sure if that is true, because you barely know what is true now. When these guys are, I just want to see them tear them shit, right? I want them to create drama. I show everybody, yeah. And then, we can see all the Ganus as well. I don't know that that's a new thing, though. You see, I've been seeing Ganus. And I now realize when the disagreement between Kwamwan and the Afas, that's when I got the meaning of Ganus. I was wondering, what is Ganus? What is Ganus? So the Ganus is like, Benusi, here you get. You just my Ganule. Like that. People are waiting to be, waiting for crumb. So K1 said, the Afas, they are mostly Ganus, because what they are coming for is just coming for, they are all coming to come and preach at his mother's burial for money. Now waiting the one job that they look for. But they will pretend that they are coming there to do the normal rights. But meanwhile, it's about money. It's about what they want to eat. So I was like, only Ganu. So the Ganus, which sounded like a fancy word for Ganu. Ganu like that. Ganu see. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I don't know. Should we take calls? Let me see if the line is opened, or we should just go to bed. I mean, I've been accused of not taking calls lately. even though taking call is just an extra, just for people who might want to add their own voice, which is kind of like part and parcel of what makes this platform interesting. Okay, you hear other people say their mind, but the real, the real, what do you call it? The real deal is what Mayegun brings in the first 2 hours of this chat. Everything else is just extra. Okay, so what do you say? Okay, somebody said we should take calls so that we can enjoy the full hour before we all go to bed. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a quick break. Now, when I come back, okay, we can take calls. Yeah, we'll take calls. Okay. Don't go anywhere yet then. All right. So then, when we take calls, we give credit to the sponsor of that segment. It's sponsored by the Ya Rasulullah's Digital. So those of you who are looking to learn anything new in this 2024, 25, right? And you want to possibly, widen your financial freedom opportunity. You want to learn something new, own your own digital business and whatever. There are those who can actually teach you, train you, and also help you, guide you in succeeding. It's called the Ya Rasulullah's Digital. So if you want to learn more, kindly just bring out your phone. Scan this QR code on your screen using, like you want to take phone calls, okay? The camera, turn the camera on and scan this on your screen. There is going to be a link that will appear on your phone. Open it to read more. And if you really go further, right, you will subscribe. And to subscribe for theirs is like, it's $149, okay? And you can have that money back if you feel like this is not for you. There's a chance for that too, right? So go check it out. I will be back in a minute or two. And then, yeah, we can have a chat. Don't go anywhere. And if you have to, like the broadcast, okay? Like it. Subscribe to my channel and then sit back. I'll be back. Thank you. Yeah, I think the line somehow like kicking people back out. But don't worry, it should be working now. Okay, so if you want to be part of this chat, okay, the number to call is right there on your screen. And listen, the only available calling is, I think I actually put it there, right? It's WhatsApp only. Okay, do not try to call directly. You will never get through. All right, just a WhatsApp call only. Here. Right. Did I get that? Hello? Nah. So again, right? If you want to be part of this, you shouldn't just write once. You should just keep trying, because the line has a lot of people who are trying to kind of like get in at the same time, right? So, yeah, I'm here, right? What do I have? Again, that's the issue. If the line is acting up, that's not me. Okay, it is not on me, and I can't really force it. All right, so we'll try again. Let's see. Did I get you? Hello there.
Hello, my good general.
Hello, sir.
Babani, I greet you. Good evening, my brother.
Good evening to you, sir.
How are you?
I'm very well. Trying to survive. Thank you for asking. How are
Thank
you?
God. I'm good. We're under the weather too, just like you.
It's kind of like, about me, I'm just coming out of mine. See,
Yeah. I saw it on your face the other day. Even me too. You see my face. Going to work, coming back is not easy. So I just have to take like a couple of days to relax and rest a bit.
Exactly. And then drink a lot of liquid as well. That's what
Yeah, absolutely. Even now, I've been drinking my tea, hot tea. I don't joke with it every evening, every night, even at work. Everybody take hot drinks.
It does help with the whole, what do you call it, the throat, the nostril.
Yeah, exactly. It will clear all your system. You go to toilet, you cough out, you blow your caca out and everything. Yeah.
Stay safe. Anyway,
yeah, thank you, Baba. So, about tonight's topic, about those Fulani herdsmen, on what Gani Adams have said so far. I think this thing has been happening for a very long time, Maegu. You were aware 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you carried the news, you brought it to us, you enlightened us about these people's, their aims and objective on how to destabilize all the whole country, subdue everybody under the Fulani rulership, and eventually Islamicize Nigeria. That has been in their agenda. Even the US government said it, that during Obama's time, that they had double mind on Buhari, that they don't actually wanted to support Buhari during that time, that they suspected that he has interior motive of terrorizing everybody because of his past history and his fanaticism on Islam. So during that time, unfortunately, exactly, because Jonathan was too weak during that time, he wasn't active, and that Chibok girls, the whole drama, now escalate the whole issue that every Nigerians were shouting for change. That's where they so change agenda for us. If you remember 2014, 2015. So before, everybody was like, we want Buhari because they painted him as a messiah, someone who is not corrupt. When he was a military head of state, he now came into power. And that was when he and what was it called? Kaduna Littlefinger. And they started telling the Fulani from every part of Africa to start coming to Nigeria. Mayegu, if you go to Sokoto State today, the border between Nigeria and Chad is just a rope that is there. No immigration, no custom, nobody that is there. They showed this. Someone once done a video through someone who was living in the north. The video trended, it went viral. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. During all those times, Sunday Igboho issue and everything. And the painful part of it is that we have so many Yoruba leaders all over the country in power, and they are not able to speak out.
Like Bukhari is gone now. So what is their excuse now that they can't protect us in Yorubaland? Like, if there is any advantage of having a Yoruba man as the president of Nigeria, what is now the reasons why they can't protect us?
That is the question. And like you said, I agree with you 100%. Tinubu has always been an antagonizing person against the Yoruba people.
Anything that is
Tinubu
going
was
to
the one
affect his
that
own ambition and what have you,
ambition.
he will sacrifice Yoruba for
Absolutely,
it.
I'm telling you. He was the one that finished all those Baba Feni Fere. We should have gotten this Yoruba nation long time ago. When he came back to Nigeria from exile with his drug money, everything, he had money, he was flamboyanting everywhere, and he bought, Lagos during that time when he went for the governorship with AC, Action Congress, if you remember, back then, before he assassinated Funshaw Williams, and he just scattered all those Baba, he divided them, he did all, until all those father, they all died one after the other.
One after the other now, they became useless politically.
Yes. And this Yinka Odumakin that died recently, about a couple of years ago or 3 years ago, he was still the one that was there as well, because that guy knew too much about his secrets.
And now he said that used him. That same Yinka Odumakin was pretty much really used by the same Tifnum. Until he became, he ran out of favor with him, and he decided to steal the milk.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day now, look at everything now. Yorubaland is not safe. There was a man that came to Nigeria around 2020 during all the Sunday Go time. And that man came from America. He was a former military man. He was the one that did a drone video of Remo. That Remo, that your area. If you are going to Badon, Oderemo, all those places. All those fire, exactly. All those bushes, all those forests. He did drone video and he captured all those terrorists, Fulani terrorists in that thick bush. And if you remember, that video, their movement, everything, yes. And they were shooting at the drone, but the drone was very, very, far away up. But he zoomed the camera and he picked them one after the other. Are we saying Nigerian government can't afford to buy all those kind of drones? Are we saying that they cannot go after those people, all those kind of operation?
Before we used to give excuses that because he was a Fulani man there. What is our
Exactly. So what has Tinubu done for Yoruba people now to safeguard them, to secure Yoruba land? Look at all these people. They've surrounded Southwest. It is sad, let me start from Lagos.
Grow their own food.
At all.
They can't go to farm in a way that they normally would. Grow their own food.
Exactly. Look at it now. I have people who have farm in Agbara. I have people abroad, people in Nigeria who had, worked for years. They collected their pension, maybe 30-something, 40-something millions, maybe private organization or civil servant. At the end of the day, they invested that money in farming. And now they cannot even go to that farm. All the crops, everything has been eaten by cows from those Fulani people. From Badagry now, Mayegun, they've surrounded everywhere. These Fulani people. All those thick bushes in Badagry, they've surrounded everywhere. Agbara, the same thing.
How did they manage to kill the news? That's what I don't understand. The last 2 years, they have managed to kill the news of all these atrocities. That you barely see it anywhere.
It's because our own Southwestern people who are in power, like governors, senators, rep, they've all been bribed, they've been political, they bury it. So so we have people who are our own Yoruba brothers and sisters who are partaking in those rots, who are killing us secretly.
So they would rather bury the news, bury the story. If anybody speaks up, they will be like, that person is a troublemaker. Like it's not.
Absolutely. Even the Gani Adams that spoke, he said that he sent some intel guys from OPC that they should go and spot everywhere in Badagry, they should go to Agbara, and they made a video. I remember during his fight, his quarrel with Sunday Igboho around 2021, 2022, then he played it, one of their channel on YouTube. I watched it, Odua, something TV Watch or whatever. I watched the video that they were speaking, and they did that video, and they said people in that Aziz now, they cannot go to farm. Many of them at night, they kidnap people, and people with that community, they will contribute money. I have someone in Iseyin. I have someone in all those Iseyin area, all those places in Oyo, border towns that they are bordering Benin Republic, Togo, and so on and so forth, and even Northern. they are bordering northern part of the country. They are saying that these Fulani people will come, they will kidnap people, and people in the community will be the one to contribute money, and they will
raise
go and
money
give it
and
to
give
them.
them. Yes, now.
Yes, that was what vexed Sunday Igboho, and it was still the same thing that was happening in that place that Sunday Igboho went.
Because
that
remember
time.
that when OPC went and confronted them, right? They shot two of the OPC men, and of course, they also kind of killed some of them, right? But guess what?
Yeah,
the police had to detain these OPC guys in Ibadan for months.
Yes, now for months. For months, what's that Agodi prison? They took them to Agodi. I followed the whole this thing now that I was calling that okay, we in diaspora, what do we need to do? Do we need to raise money, get a lawyer? They said they will take them to court, that they may sentence them, they may do this, do that. You know, imagine
for fighting terrorists, so
terrorists. Just even police officer told them Sunday Igboho that time that Buhari was looking for them, and there was a lot of pressure that once they arrest these Fulani people, whatever the people that are in charge,
and then the police will release them.
They will release them. They said there will be order from above that those that there was one Yoruba man that was a police officer during that time, a DPO or maybe area commander, and that man was arresting them, prosecuting them, sending them to jail. Maikun, do you know that they got that news in Abuja during Buhari time, and they posted that man to North to go and die, and they wanted to set that man, but later we heard that that man resigned. He resigned and he said he's not doing. Yes, because they will set him up there. They will just kill him. That is after he is the one against them. So now the motive from U.S. intelligence is that these Fulani people, they are the fourth largest and most dangerous terrorist
group.
You know, yes, you always say it now. You always say
there's a record for it. They said they are the first.
Yes,
and you know the meaning of deadliest. There are people who will say anywhere with them.
They have weapons,
they will ruin everything.
They destroy,
kill everybody they can kill.
Exactly.
And then they will remain in the forest.
Exactly. Absolutely. And now our people, even Lagos is not
they are complaining. Why are you warning them? Why are you telling them to leave? How about you organize and then you show us the brutality that Yorubaland is no longer welcoming for them, right? Why are you warning them? Why are you telling them to leave?
Now, I expect that now that we have Yoruba presidents, they should organize. They should give power, guns to Amotekun, and they should form another kind of, security rangers that those ones will be brutal against terrorism, especially against with charm, with everything they have, spiritual power, and they will go after these people. My ordinarily, there are some spiritual things that we can do to chase these people. All you find all those bushes. There was a man in Oyo State that they went to his farm. No, it's not in Oyo, in Osun. They went to his farm and cow eat all his farm, and he went to meet all those Fulani. He told them what happened, and they chased him away. That nothing they won't pay. That man went spiritual and he did something on his farm. And next time those cow came with the Fulani people, they ate and all those cows died. I don't know, maybe you'll have seen the viral.
No, I remember the story as well. That said he poisoned his crops and all that.
Crops and all that.
But even and himself couldn't go back to his farm again because of reprisal attack. Because they actually said,
of course, they will kill him. Of course. So at the end of the day, now we have a Yoruba president. So what is the benefit?
Exactly.
So thank you very much, my Let me let other people call. Thank you. Take care of yourself,
and
Baba.
You too. Get some rest.
Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, bye.
Cheers, man. I mean, what is the benefit? There must be a benefit. See, when people say, I don't like Tifnumbu, but I like what he's doing. What exactly is Tifnumbu doing that you can say is different from what Boko Haram did? I only pick on security, which is the most paramount. Sure, you get Boko Haram boldly and confidently, right, stood behind the Fulani terrorists. All the atrocities, they were like a state crime, forgiven. He said the Amotekun cannot be harmed. They boldly said that to the governors. You can't harm them. And the governors went to Abuja pretty much like begging him that we need to harm them. We need to harm them. Today, you will never see anywhere Amotekun parade is being done. Nakondo baton they will give them to be displayed, to be displaying. Why can't Amotekun carry machine guns, real guns, and show a display, show of force in Yorubaland? Why? So who is these guys now afraid of? Because Tinubu won't be your president forever. I hope you know that. So those of you who are saying that I don't like Tinubu, I don't support it, but because of him, Yorubas have voice. What voice? Because they are no longer reporting the atrocities of these terrorists. So if we have terrorists that are escaping from northern Nigeria down to southern Nigeria, what should we do? We should raise alarm and then go to bed. Okay. Hello there.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm good. I hope you are having a quality time, and also your family. I hope everybody's fine.
Well, we can't really complain. We are doing well. Thanks so much for asking. Happy New Year, though. That's our first time speaking this year.
Happy New Year to you too. I just came back about a week ago.
Oh yeah. So you are like right now in America. I just got back.
Yes, I just got back, bro.
Right. So that's some experience, Baba. So how was it?
Eventful, my dear brother. Very eventful. Like you always say, that place is something else. It's in fact,
you need an extra layer of skin to understand how to maneuver your way in there, or else.
I am telling you, it's a crime scene. That place, that is a joke. It's a complete joke. In fact, let me start with the for everybody to know. Maybe they've said it here to you. Michael, do you know that they have DSS counter before the immigration counter at the airport now?
Really? And why is that?
So apparently when I got there, when I got to the place, the very first counter I encountered was men in complete black. Okay. They were not, and this one is not as if it was ambiguous. You could see it boldly on the way they were dressed. Black. They have their own cubicle right there. You are going to go through them first before you encounter the immigration counter. And they are not too far from each other, but you definitely have to go through them before you get to the immigration. And what I noticed was that when they took my passport, they put it on their scanner, something that looks like a glass, like a scanner. And then everything appeared on their screen. And the guy was literally, what I noticed he was doing was, he was looking at my, like, for example, my social media. My social media, it's, you know, when you have the opportunity of seeing a reasonable part of the screen, especially when you are facing somebody that's in the cubicle, and then the screen you could see some part of it. Then suddenly what he did was like he just said, you're on a couple of social media, YouTube, Facebook, this and that. I said, yeah. Do you have a problem? The next thing I asked, do you have a problem with me being in social media, or what is the issue? He said, he just looked at like, there's nothing. Nothing. He just looked. He did his face somehow and then lifted his shoulder up, down, and just like, he just gave me the passport. I said, okay, thank you, welcome. And I moved. So for me, at that time, what I saw, and this is just, I will just be absolutely be direct. What I saw was he was more interested in observing what my social media looks like and what I am saying on social media.
Yeah.
So
because they said that those of us in the diaspora, we are under serious surveillance, by the way.
It is.
They said we are the people inciting the people in Nigeria to stand up and fight them. So therefore, if you enter Nigeria, you get checked.
You get checked. And if you are somebody they are really, really interested or looking for, right from there, they will pick you from there straight to Abuja. Right from there, straight to Abuja. And when I left them, I noticed that the guy kept on looking at me. Then, when I was at the immigration, that one didn't waste time. I didn't waste too much time there. But I just noticed that as soon as I walked towards baggage clip, right? The baggage clip area. So the one that was moving around, trying to observe me, I noticed that he was still coming around that area. Then suddenly the next place I saw him was with customs and DEA people. They now wanted to do what is called. But guess what? Oh my God, this is crazy. Then they now say the guy there. You're saying that they want to do a secondary search. a secondary search of my luggage. I said, oh, sure, no problem. So my guy that was helping me to push the thing said, what's going on? I said, don't worry, it's fine. Let's do. Is it a secondary search? If you don't have nothing to fear, why are you worried? Don't worry, relax.
Okay.
So they opened my luggage, saw some couple of some body wash and perfume and some few things that were a lot. He said, am I personal? I said, am I selling this one? I said, those are personal effects. Or is there a law in Nigeria that say I cannot use my personal effects or what? So when they realized that I was somebody who was going to be a little bit combative, they were not trying to continue to make things look like as if it was difficult. So I just ignored them. After they got it, they do their rubbish. They still left me. I left.
So they are there in the airport right now with our
names. My good idea. Yeah, my good idea. I'm not kidding.
My own name is going to flag up like that. Hey, that's him. Everyone, they'll be like, what's in the airport? Arrest him. I mean, I will just do like this in the airport, like that. You can't catch me like I'll be like that to them, like like that, trying to run away. So just create the drama. If they have my own passport, I give to them that way, like, oh yeah, take. And they say, catch her. I'm like, catch you.
And when you are going back, you're going back, you're going to encounter them again.
Right.
You are encountering them again. So apparently, like you said, and like I think what they've said is that they've marked most of us that are in the diaspora.
They are monitoring our social media activities, of course. There's no doubt. So that's why I encourage people that if you are coming onto my Egun's Diary Politico, at least you must know what you are up against. There is no point in pretending. All right.
Yeah. So it's like FYI, just for everybody on this platform, on the platform of Sepro, should to know.
Exactly.
Be aware that you are going to encounter them. Stay calm, stay cool. Be yourself. You'll be fine. Yeah, let them run their own thing. You'll be fine.
Thank you so much, and you're welcome back as well.
Thank you. I miss you, man.
I do. Me too. You see, I'm going to see if I have a chance. I'm coming to the US next month, okay? And I'm going to be there for like 2 weeks. All right?
Woo.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Well, I'm coming with the family. So I would have a chance of meeting some of you. But if I miss you next month, I'll also be back in the US sometimes in late April or early May. So if I miss you again, then I will likely see you before you go to Nigeria again in December. So I'll be in the US again sometimes around August or October. So we're having the Yoruba Union Summit sometimes in August, but we are not sure if we are going to have it in the US or we're going to have it in Canada.
I can't wait to have you, man.
But you don't worry now. Once I'm around, everybody going to say I'm around. Don't worry.
All right, cool. No problem.
Stay safe, man. All right. You have a very good one. Okay. Welcome back. That's Kenneth. And here is Charm. Lady Charm.
Thank you.
How you doing, ma'am? Welcome back. Can you hear me? Charm.
Oh, good evening, Maigo. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Enjoying the cold as usual.
I know. Have we actually have we spoken this year? I don't think so. Have we?
No, I think so. I think we have.
Yes, we have. I think we have. Yeah, you're right. So how you doing today?
I'm fine, just taking in your whole show. I've been watching it from start to finish. The previous caller, very hilarious. They're actually checking people's social media to find out what we're saying.
Yeah, they do that now.
That's the mark of a jobless government, a very jobless one. If you're so bothered about what
they are scared, you see, they are like scared people, right? Very little-minded people who are so afraid of their own shadow, because everybody knows that one day, this whole arrangement is going to explode or implode. And it's just a matter of time. They are worried.
They have every right to be very worried, because they've done so much to actually demarket that whole region. They've impoverished the people. So if they're worried about us, I think they're worried about the wrong people. They need to be worried about the people in that country,
exactly.
Who are directly impacted by their, by their corruption. Those are the people that they need to be worried about, because it cannot continue like this. That's just the truth, Coming to the Amotekun, right? I don't know why people are still waiting to ask this government for, to give us permission to do this and do that. People are there. A threat to your life, a threat to your livelihood. And yes, you want to ask permission to do what needs to be done. And I'm not talking about capturing all of these terrorists, because that is what they are. The time of capturing them is past. It was during Buhari's time that you're capturing them. Now you're just getting them and getting rid of them, because they're a complete nuisance.
Let's send them to their creator, who can then judge.
Yeah, send them to their eternal reward, because that's what they deserve. Because if you don't send them to their eternal reward, they will send you and your family to your own eternal reward. So it's not about we're looking for permission or we're threatening you. What are we waiting for? Right? What are people waiting for?
Why are you telling them?
Why are you warning them?
Why are you do what you have to do? They will
do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. And then when the government comes for you, you come for them. I don't know, Nigerians are just still, they're still, let us ask. You don't have a government, you don't have a country to start off with, right? A country where a group of people, right, have more rights than you. You're being told from above that you can't when you catch them, you can't kill them, or you can't threaten them, you can't do anything. They have more rights. Are you still in a country? Which one are you? Are you a citizen or are you a slave? Which one are you? Because clearly anyone watching, listening to your show, watching everything that you're saying, even just watching what is going on a daily basis, forget about the media. We already know that the media is captured, right? We already know that there are certain entities, and I don't really think that the entities that we're talking about are just those ones, are just Nigerians. I think even foreign entities have ensured that Nigerians are left ignorant of the exact situation or the true situation of that country, because a lot of people are still oblivious to the depth of the corruption in that country. Look at what you're talking about: billions, 1.9 billion to buy one photocopy machine. Printing machine in 2025.
I'm not talking about industrial publishing, printing, photocopier machine that photocopy.
That almost all the houses here in America, I'm sure everyone has a photocopy machine, because children are always doing homework.
$50,
you have to print out stuff, and you're spending 1.something billion. If all of us spend 1.something billion buying a photo machine, we won't have any money now. Doesn't make any kind of sense. What else needs to be said? What else needs to be said? And there's something that just occurred to me, right? Because the previous caller talked about Buhari being not a what did he say again? He wasn't a candidate that the Obama's administration was looking at. I said, listen, we all of us in general need to be very, very fearful of what the final outcome or what the final destination that they want Nigeria to be is. Because when he's saying that, Buhari was not somebody that they were really looking to, their final candidate, right? But they still used him.
Yes, they did.
Right? And I don't know if anybody is aware. I'm very much aware, and I believe it is so. I don't have anything to prove it, but you see that Chibok girls kidnapping was an operation that they carried out. It wasn't something, it was a catalyst to ensure that...
Right. There is evidence of that. There is evidence of that. It is one conspiracy against Nigeria that the America is also believed to be involved, because the way the way the whole thing played out, obviously it was the last stroke that broke the camel's back.
Exactly, and you have to. There's no way if you're somebody who observes politics, geopolitics, and all of that, and also that observes the influence and the influence of the West on this particular region, right? You know that they're not doing, nothing happens in isolation. They've planned every single thing. they had to find something that would motivate and galvanize the people against Jonathan, and they used those Chibok girls to do it. Remember that there was also supposed to be all of this intelligence about, this is going to happen, and it still happened at the end of the day, right? We now have the international media, Michelle Obama screaming, "Return our girls,"
international campaigns and all that.
All that campaign and all of that business.
And now to the point that Obama had to make a video telling Nigerians that their destiny is in their hand during election. That to make Nigeria, the task to make Nigeria better is, to make Nigeria is a task that must be done. He actually made a video.
He made that video and everything.
That now is an opportunity to make sure that the incompetent Jonathan is kicked out.
It's kicked out, right?
Election interference.
Well, exactly. I think the greatest lie that we've ever been told is that we're actually in charge of our own destinies. We've never been in charge of our destiny. Never. Nigeria has never been free. We have never been independent. We are still a very, very dependent country, dependent on the West. So they did all of that and ensured that Jonathan was removed from that power. Now you see Tinubu. David Axelrod. And David Axelrod.
Jonathan, worked with
he worked with Buhari
during their change era. Remember?
Yeah. Yes, David Axelrod.
He's a consultant to APC in 2014, 2015.
Can you imagine?
Like he was given to the APC. The guy, all the propaganda. This whole thing is public. They are in public now. They are not secret. This is not me and you making any discovery. This whole thing are in public as we speak, right? Axelrod and the rest of them said they cooked all of the propaganda, the lies that were spread by media to ensure that Jonathan, in fact, if Jonathan failed to concede that election, there will be civil war in Nigeria. It was that bad.
And they were
start a civil war. They will
be ready to do that.
Already telling them they will give him backbone treatments. That means it will be dragged out of that Aso Rock
and killed.
In public and on the streets like that. That's what they said they would do to him.
And they were going to do that. And I guess maybe a lot of people saw Jonathan as being weak, but maybe Jonathan loved his life enough and he knew what was in front of him. I said, you know what, I'm not going to contest this.
The lives of Nigerians is not, his election is not worth the life of anybody. Because, before you get to Jonathan, thousands would die anyway. You know that.
Absolutely.
People would die.
Okay.
Then eventually, then they will kill him.
And I just want to add one thing so that other people can call in. You see, the West, they have always had a long-term plan. See, you have to look at the dominoes. Buhari, first of all, get rid of Jonathan, install Buhari. Buhari then ensured that Tinubu with their Muslim, whatever, Muslim ticket would become president. They always had designs for Tinubu to become president. And this is why I say people need to be worried. Because if this their plan for Tinubu to become president of Nigeria was not a plan that they concocted yesterday, it was a plan that they did far back before when he became an asset to them.
No lies.
Right? When he became an asset to them is when they planned. Even that whole, he worked in ExxonMobil. All of these things are covers and legends that they gave to somebody that they're going to use.
He said they agreed. Listen, Cham, Tifnubu said it.
Yeah.
He said when this whole thing started, it was agreed that even Bukwari wanted to use him as his vice. It was the Sarakis that kicked against it. That's why they dealt with Saraki in such a way that his career almost is ended that way. Okay. The Muslim ticket of the thing that you are seeing today was the proposed idea since 2014, 2015. But because these new guys that joined them, Saraki, Atiku, and others, they worked against it, right? That was why they dropped it. Tinubu said there was an agreement that Buhari will go first. He will go next. Last time that you see all these fights of trying to stop Tinubu in 2023, which was just an idea that came within the Bukwari's kitchen cabinet, as in his own inner circle, right?
Yeah.
The reason why Tinubu fought tooth and nail with them was because it was an arrangement, okay? Buhari will go first. Tinubu will go next. And the agenda was to get Nigeria to where Nigeria is now. Nigeria was almost becoming, Nigeria was, among the three fastest growing economies.
Economies, right?
Look at it
So
today. Where is Nigeria today?
It is down in the dumps. You know, what I want people to understand is that this man being here, being president, has always been calculated. It has been intentional, right? And the whole idea is to ensure and enact a wartime scenario without a war. Guess what? Our people are hungry. Our people are illiterate. Our people are oppressed. There's no hope. Which other situation do you find all of those things in? Wartime. But we're supposedly not at war. Do you understand? And then we have the Fulani incursion, right, which is not even allowing our people to even see road. So people, we really, really need to be worried. And the time to actually start acting with regards to getting rid of the likes of Tinubu. Listen, the people destroying Nigeria are no longer hidden. All of us here know them. They've identified themselves. They've been so brazen. They're out there. You know, they're putting themselves. We know who they are. It's time to start getting rid of them. It's time for talking has ended. It's time to actually start getting rid of these people. Otherwise, the plans of the West that they have for Nigeria, we haven't even seen we haven't started seeing it.
Said that yesterday. I think it was the Falano guy, okay, who happened also to be a Tinubu's lawyer as far back as 1999 to 2005, right? The man that saved Tinubu from the stranglehold of Gani Pawayimi, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So he said, whatever it is that people are seeing right now with Tinubu, right? It is just a tip. And we have said that on this platform as well. You know something. Before something implodes, okay, before the bubble will burst, it will first be pretending to be expanding. You know that? It will be expanding.
Yeah.
It will be expanding. And it will seem like it's taking it in. Then it will get to a zone bursting point. We're almost there, charm. You know, the only thing that will destroy these people is once they press the self-destruct button. All right? Because like we all know, the people have been so traumatized that they can't even fight back anymore.
But they have to. We have to fight back.
And
Let me let other people call.
Fight back is the moment these guys, they have pressed the self-destructive button right now, charm. And I promise you this, what is left is not as long as what they have spent. Watch it. It's just a Stay safe, ma'am. All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. Thanks, my girl.
Yes, ma'am. So I do have another caller. Meanwhile, we only have just about 10 minutes to go. So if you still want to be part of this chat, remember, you better begin to dial the number now. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, my good general. This is CA from Atlanta.
CA from Atlanta. How are you, sir?
It's been a long time.
I know.
How are you?
Very well. Oh, thanks for asking.
I went to Nigeria. I was in Nigeria. Yes.
So you are around that December then, right?
I left. I got Nigeria on the 1st of January.
Oh dear. So how was it? How was the experience?
It's a mixed bag. But the general implication is assessment is there's no hope. There's no hope. No hope.
Tell me about it.
No hope. It's worse than what we see. What we say online is worse, much worse than what we talk about. Trust me. Economically, the country is gone, Mayago. It is gone.
I mean,
I know how much
my friends who went as well said that let's be honest, these people living in Nigeria, nobody knows how they are surviving, to be honest. Because the level of inflation in that place, even you that
it's
just
crazy.
With your money,
it's crazy.
That place with your money.
Mayago is crazy. I know how much I left with. I came back with $200. The $200 because I just want to keep it no matter what, you never can tell. I know how much I left Nigeria and left US.
Surviving in such economy, how?
It's unbelievable. The resilience and the way they take hardship in that country is beyond measure. You can't explain it, Mayago. You can explain it. You everything's in thousands, no more 100, 5. Everything's in thousands, Mayago. Everything, because I want to live an austere life, Like we said before, in those days, if you're going, you don't show yourself. I wear my short knicker. I wear my jeans. I use public transport sometimes, Okada, sometimes Marwa, sometimes they call cab for me. My go from here to here is 10,000, 5,000, 20,000. It's just
I'm always
crazy.
going to just be like, what? Like, how? Now, if you dare have to fill your tank, your car tank, right, every day, and compared to what it cost you to fill your tank where you came from, you're just like, this is supposed to be a third world country. How are people kind of having to live like they are in the first world country?
Let me tell you one thing. Lagos is even better. If you go to Owerri, it's worse.
Wow.
It's worse, Mayogo. It's crazy. I left a long time ago. I've not been back, so my bank account, everything is dormant. So this transfer stuff, I just gave my brother money, change it, put in your account, and I keep transfer money. My God was once transferring money per minute. Per minute. I'll just tell my brother send account
You couldn't put
transfer to this.
10,000 naira in your wallet and spend that for like
no, I only make sure I have some cash with me, maybe like $100 worth of cash at a time.
That's
in
like
my pocket.
nearly 170,000, 160,000
70,000
cash.
Well, before the end of the day,
it's gone.
It's gone. At the point, I just
like you can't spend except if you are like I mean, you can't be spending $100 unnecessarily every day in America. What are you buying?
No.
Like what are you going to
what are you buying? I still want to buy something like you want to buy maybe you want to down payment for a car, or you want to buy a TV. TV is even cheap. TV is $500, $600.
That's what I'm saying. Would you be spending $100? I don't spend £100 every day here.
No.
There's not. Yeah, I mean, on a regular, sometimes on a day, I can spend like £500, £400, and all of that. That's different. But like me, spending £100 every day, every
week, every day is not buying what. At the point, what I do is I don't even carry cash anymore. Anybody that's with me, I say take or go boy home. Because people keep coming to my hotel. I go to the hotel central to where I will get access to my friends. You know, people just come back and say, well, if we are going out, I say, keep the money. You hold it. If you go anywhere, they say it's 10,000. I say, give money. You pay. I don't touch money because at the point, I don't even know what it means anymore. Because everything is 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. I don't even understand. You know, Mayogo is worse. There's no hope. I am telling you, Mayogo. There is no hope. The country is gone. But one good thing I tell you is, I was afraid of the police, but all through the while we were moving around, the police, I think because of social media, they're changing.
Right.
They're wiser now. When they see a checkpoint, they don't use power anymore. They calm down. Okay, how now? You know that you understand what they want. You give them no more power. Say, hey, open your boot. Hey, what's in that? But no, I think they've learned now. Yes, I think they are learning their lessons now. Even at the airport. I put some dollar in my wallet when I was coming, $10, $20. I knew airports, but I don't have anything, but just to, money for the boys. When I came, the first guy that checked my passport, I got half and I knew you. I gave. I hope there's no price, for $20, $10, $20, I left. When I was coming back the same time, I had some naira left at airport. Hey, we are NDLA, they check. What do you have? We are agricultural something. You have Ugo, you have bitter leaf. They take. We are this take. I was just giving them because I know how it is. Not to keep you, not to take your time. The general implication is and just in a deep mess. But nobody knows what's going to be like tomorrow.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mayogo.
Every now and then it keeps changing. See,
we keep changing.
Thank God that you are back.
Thank you very much.
You are back safely. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from you again. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Okay.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Right.
I mean, I personally believe that people living inside Nigeria, I keep saying it too. Like, forget about every other thing being said. All right. I always kind of give you credit too. Yeah, you watching me from Nigeria. Because in all sincerity, some of us cannot survive in Nigeria anymore. See, forget about living abroad, this or that, and all of that. Like, if some of us, if we are offered 5 million naira salary, right, inside Nigeria, some of us can't survive. Because at the end of the day, it is not the size of the money, it is the value of the money. You see, some of you who have been there, truly you know the whole scope, you know all the rudiment, you know how to run things. But to some of us, it is almost like a different world now. Sincerely, it's like a different world. And I've had people who have come back with, I've had people who came back with, mixed experiences, all right? But there's something that everyone that came back, have in common, is that Nigeria is no longer what it used to be anymore. In some cases, right, they figured out that more people have become so impoverished that the habit of wanting to meet everyone. Oh, I missed you. Our Abroadians are dodging their old-time friends, relatives, simply because it's almost like everyone has become like Wara, looking for who to take advantage of. And there's no amount of what you think you have, right, that you want to enjoy. I want to enjoy myself here. It is no longer so. Yeah. Hello.
One
name Osita. One name the number. How are you?
Great, my brother.
Happy New Year.
I wish you the same, my brother. And
please
kindly extend to see welcome back to Atlanta.
Avio back to America. Osita, you hear things?
So anyway, this is where Lady Cham has already said a lot. This is where we belong. I look at Nigeria, where we come from, where Nigerians will jubilate and say, "Oh, this president is now the president of America." They will change towards you. They are not going to change towards you.
No.
They are going to strangulate you the more till you get down on your knees to say thank you, sir, even for strangulating you. That is where we are. I look at a lot of Nigerians and when somebody is bullying a country, somebody will bully a country and say, I want to collect this your place, and I would need to collect this your place. And some people are hailing him and saying that is God sent. So that is what God sent you to do, to oppress other people, to take their things by force. Whereby in the Western world, what people don't know, they legalize illegality. They legalize criminality, and they wouldn't legalize it. So in Africa, it will be called corruption, and in their own place, they will say it's lobbying. So when people are saying all these things, I look at it is that it's because of we Africans, especially Nigeria, because I will tell you one truth today: the African continent should be disappointed of Nigeria, because Nigeria is a disappointment to Africa. Because most of the African nations, most of the African nations thought Nigeria would be able to liberate Africa.
Be like the big brother. And it is not because we didn't play that role in the past. There are some of these African countries that host their freedom or independence to Nigeria's benevolent or see how it turned out.
At least in the 19th century, the last leg of the 19th century, you will bear me witness that if it was not because of Nigeria, the Liberian War wouldn't have finished. You know that.
Sierra Leonean War too.
The Sierra Leonean War wouldn't have finished. If not for Nigeria, the most recent one in Jonathan's administration, the Ebola virus that was brought into Africa, how they did it, we do not know. But it was stopped by the Jonathan administration. But because of this that they are seeing, they decided that they have to cripple Nigeria, so that Africa will not be enlightened to know what is good for them and what is bad for them. It is because of all these things that we are looking at, my brother. That is the more reason why they are head bent to make sure that Nigeria is destroyed, so that they think they could easily.
The weaker the leadership you have, the more disrespect that we have to suffer in the world.
So some people think that because of somebody became a president and think that, that the face value
of the American people will change all over the world. It's still the same thing. It doesn't work that way. So all these things a lot of people are talking about. The evil that is being perpetrated on the land, you will first of all ask yourself, how did the evil start? It is not all about solving it. If you don't know how it started, or you don't want to have a discussion on how it started, you are never going to get an answer. You could only, a solution is not an answer. Solution is a temporary thing. An answer is something that is permanent. You will never get it. So this is where we will keep asking ourselves the question. In Africa as in general, I'm speaking to Africans, I'm speaking to Nigeria. Are we willing to survive? Are we willing to identify, to have our true identity? Until we'll find it out. Because there's some countries in Africa.
For the grabbing,
Yeah.
so there's nobody coming to
There's some
rescue
countries.
anybody. That's one of the
Yes, so yeah. And I'm going to say that the Western world should listen because they listen to your program too. The reason they've not been able to oust the guy in Burkina Faso, especially him, is
They
because
attempted to kill that guy like 23 times. What the hell?
23 times. It's because the guy have come to identify with who he is. And his people, they believed on him.
That's right.
And that is the reason, because the people believe in him, that is the reason they've not been able to kill him. So, on a more serious note, we should look inward to find out what is our own problem, to find out how we can tackle and deal with this problem. And the only way we can deal with this problem, that's the reason they don't want to listen to Nigeria. After all, South Sudan got their independence.
I mean,
then why is it that they cannot listen?
But one thing is that they no longer blame anybody. They are now
that's what I'm saying.
Hands, whatever, or
that's the reason I am telling you. Nigeria is the focal point for them. How many people died in South Sudan compared to what has died in Nigeria? Based on the fake statistics they are giving to us, fake statistics. We know it's more than what they give to us. How many people died in South Sudan? They gave them independence. They accepted, that since you guys cannot live together, okay, you break it. Why is it that they are not applying the same thing in Nigeria? The reason they are not going to apply it is because they don't want the survival of Nigeria. They don't want the survival of Africa, and they don't want the survival of the black man. One of the problems they are having in this country today is that most African Americans, most African Europeans are now traveling back to the continent of Africa to invest, no matter how little they start. They don't want those things because it seems we are now the one opening the eyes of the African American or the African European. We are the one opening their eyes now to tell them that let's go back home and do something. So that is one of the reasons they want to make sure they stop Nigeria. If they stop Nigeria, they believe that they could stop Africa. But the reality is that
they are doing so by just being the puppet masters behind the scene, pushing weak criminals taking over power and holding us down. So you're right, until we probably faces our own fear, as we can identify the people behind our problems, right? Or those who are fronting for them. Nobody's coming to
and finally, anytime you're reading the Western Journal or you're watching the mainstream media overseas, any leader in Africa, they tell you that, or in any other place in the world that is not the West, that is the global South, if they tell you that this leader is not a good person, my brother, if the reverse is the case, it's a lie. It is opposite. That leader is the one that is good. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much, Osita, for that, for that heartwarming, submission. And I bet a lot of us got your message so loud and clear. I have Adiola. Yeah. Hello.
Chairman, Happy New Year, sir. I just got to
year, how you doing?
I'm all right. I'm very all right. I'm very all right. Yes, yes. We are on it. We will not give up.
We are back at it again because it is almost like a catch-22, like a rat race. We are always at it, and those who are responsible for our, dilemma, the problems, the key players, they are still active, unfortunately, while the rest of us are still trying to find our footing in facing and confronting this. But yeah, we are back at it. Please.
Yeah, so well done. Well done. All the good work you are doing is really admirable. It's really admirable. But in terms of Africa, leaving the grip of this Western world, it would take partnerships like the Sahel Alliance, in different forms. So I see that in the future, we might not have a united Africa, but you have Africa that is united at some level. People that believe that they can work together. A perfect example is the Sahel
Alliance.
Yes. So that alliance is going to be the
They have their
next
passport now,
format.
by the way. Honestly, I saw their
Yes,
passport. I was
yes.
supposed to bring that on.
I think
they have their passport.
the last part of that is to do away with the CFA currency they are using. Is to do away with that currency. And I'm sure they would be backing their currency with either their gold or with something much more tangible. They will change the game. They will change the game. They would definitely change the game. That is the way forward for Africa. You would align with people that you have common interests with. It is not, see, Maigun, it is not a must if you don't want to align together as a whole continent. But when you start seeing the fruits of that liberation, if you start seeing the fruits of that liberation, then things will start changing. Things will start changing because, that man...
Their new president in Ghana, Mahama, he has appointed a representative to the AES right now. Right, it's the only country in Africa that has sent. It's like you have ECOWAS, you have the SADC, the South African Development Commission or something, right? South Africans, not like South Africa as a country, but the Southern Africa, countries. Now you have African Union, then you have the AES. These are the three countries that form their own bloc right now. Now Ghana has sent a representative there, and it's just a matter of time, like Osita said.
Baba,
things goes on that way.
Chairman, ECOWAS is dead. ECOWAS is moribund. I don't see anything coming out of. No, it's not thanks. See, that union was already compromised by the French because because the ECO was meant to roll out, but the French frustrated it. Even down to the establishment of the first regional bank, ECO Bank. They frustrated it
and they killed it.
Fully, that bank was able to kick off. Yeah, but at some point, it's still, it's still not doing that good. It's still the problem. That ECOWAS has been compromised. It has been compromised. So we have to have a new one. So the new Ghanaian president trying to reach out to this is emblematic of the signs and the times that we are in. He knows that time is over. This old system, old thinking, whereby you hijack countries. You have taste for foreign assets, you compromise your people, you live lavishly. All that time has gone. Tinubu is a relic of that old time. And if you do not understand the signs and the time that we are living in, then I'm sorry, but at some point Nigeria would definitely crumble. It will crumble. It will crumble. See, Maigo, that guy from Burkina Faso is in the shape and in the form of Thomas Sankara. I will share this quickly before I go. I had a vision like 4 or 5 years ago, about Thomas Sankara getting justice. And this is part of it. This is part of it. So no matter what you try to do to take that guy's life, it will not happen. Times have changed. We are in a new dispensation. So it is immaterial. Whatever they are trying to cook up in Nigeria, that country is already failed. It's already failed. It's just a matter of time. It has all the markings. You keep on saying it has all the markings. It's gone. It is gone. The way the Sahel states would move, give them 5 to 10 years, Maigo, things will change. Things will definitely change because the main thing is empowering of your people and training them to have those skills, to master those elements that they have under their soil. That's all you need. That is all you need. By the time you master your gold, you master your uranium, you master your your platinum, you master all those elements. They can apply it. It's not rocket science. You know, you move to economic prosperity, but Nigeria has shown us the way not to do it.
You know.
So, Michael, if I were you, I'll probably go and collect passport for those Sahel state and
I'm even
establish
thinking of
something
going
there.
to Burkina Faso rather than go to any other. You know, usually people said, Mayegun, don't go to Nigeria, go to Ghana. I say, Amy, Ghana, go to.
No, there's no need to go.
Go to where?
Is it
But I can go to maybe.
Is the Sahel state you will go and go and establish? See,
I want
Baba,
to have any field of Africa. I can go to Burkina Faso.
If you
can apply for their, you know, their pass and go to the country.
If you take a bet, this is the first time in history whereby you have 3 African states aligning together with proximity to themselves.
The influence of the West.
Is the first time in proximity. It's not as if, you know, they lack proximity. They're in proximity. It is shocking. And if you think one person will come and destabilize that thing, you are wasting your time. This is not the era whereby you will use poison in someone's toothpaste, like the way they tried to kill this man from the Congo. You know, Patrice Lumumba, the poison is poison is toothpaste. It didn't work. This is not the era. We have left that era, my God. You know, see, Baba, may I leave the mic? I don't want to the power tonight.
I know. Thank you so much. You have a very, very wonderful night yourself. And then, brethren, we've had a very extensive chat, honestly. Our time is now fast spent, okay? So whatever it is that others still want to share, I advise that we keep it till tomorrow. But hang on. This is Prince Adebayo from Sweden. I'll tell him that he only has just 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. The Prince.
Baba,
use that.
the king.
Yeah?
Good evening. I greet you.
Good evening.
The king. I beg. I did. I just listen to you. I say make I chip in.
All right. Good on.
You know, people are saying Nigeria is about to crumble. Nigeria, Baba Ejo. Is there anything, you know that we have flag independence, but do we have sovereignty in anything in that country? We don't have sovereignty in anything.
Pretended sovereignty.
Yes. Our food. We are hungry in that country. We cannot feed ourselves, so we don't have food sovereignty. We don't have technological sovereignty. Baba, you mentioned tell me one thing where we do for ourselves, by ourselves, where we not depend on outsider. As long as you depend on outside for your technology, they can spy on you. They can spy on you any day. That means you are a hopeless nation. You are a hopeless nation because your military is just porous. That is why people like China and Russia are the people to be like. If you don't have sovereignty in your technology, you never start. If you don't have food sovereignty, you never start. Which one is we are going to crumble? We have not since independence, we never moved one inch because we are a collection of different nations. It's only people who know their destination that can fight for their sovereignty. How do you fight for your sovereignty? Your food. You must feed yourself. You have land, fertile land, you can't feed yourself.
Imagine.
And you're telling me Nigeria is about it. Nigeria is
you don't understand.
You can't protect yourself.
You protect our
because
you can't protect
anytime that ISWAP, yes, anytime that they want to enter Ogun State or your state, it is some United States, it is their intelligence that used to publish it that they cited some you know, terrorists trying to enter. Yes. Because what you don't have technology. They are from your own satellite. Yes. You don't get any. So which are we a country? We are just empty space. Empty space. We have not started. This your vice president will go everywhere. We're talking about technology. You know more. They
don't even get electricity. We can't even power the country. Like is Nigeria even independent?
We are not. In this current time, you can use social media to empty your country. You know that China have their own social media because they can use it to spy on you. You don't see the problem with TikTok. Where America is here, so that the thing. You don't have sovereignty anywhere. Maloro, you are not a citizen of this world.
So
that's why they are doing us anyhow.
Delusion.
We are just a set of human beings living somewhere.
In Africa, South Africa, they are manufacturing fighter jets. They are manufacturing weapons. Everything that they are also selling. Imagine in South Africa is selling weapons to Israel.
Exactly now. Those are people who know what they do. Those are people who know their destination. They are pursuing their own destination.
Giant of
waiting. They're just a population. If you have sometimes they see say all the intelligent people don't come up for that country. If you wait there now,
big for nothing. It's a shame.
Big for nothing.
Prince Adebayo, thank you so much, right?
Baba,
let me
too much.
update up this evening, okay? It's
all right.
It's good to
all right, too much.
Stay safe, Baba. Right. I mean, it can be very uncomfortable to hear. It may be very hard for you to process, but listen, there are some certain things, some factors that will remind you, they are like the truth. They are, even though they may be uncomfortable, right? But they are just reminder to let you know that we have been lied to so many times. And every now and then, if you decide to question everything you were told, you were taught about Nigeria, you should be angry that you were lied to. And it's unfortunate that we are part of the entire contraption, okay? Anyway, everyone, enjoy your evening. Take it easy. Live safe. And you have a wonderful week, by the way. And then good night. From here. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn ràgì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀lọ́mọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.